What is up, everyone? Happy freedom. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Bring in all the hooligans. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans. We're going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we're going to make sure everything's running smoothly. Let's see who's all here. We're going to be starting off with a video titled Montana to become first U.S. state to ban TikTok. It's interesting. I don't know about this whole TikTok situation. They're trying to cover it up like some CCP stuff, but then it also sounds like censorship, so it's really difficult to figure that out. Then we have a video titled Maxwell Frost, GOP bill attempting to attack and vilify the Black Lives Matter movement. Maxwell Frost is a BLMer himself, which I thought was really interesting. Then we have a video titled I Call BS, Lisa McLean slams new EV plant as a blatant attempt by the CCP to take over Michigan, which that EV battery plant is 2-3 hours away from me, I guess, if they decide to build it. Then there's a video titled This Has Unleashed a Storm of Unintended Consequences. Mike Rowe talking about taking shop class out of schools and things like that, making people soft, and how we've been on this decline for the last 40 years. Then we have a video titled Jerry Nadler discusses threat of AI to music composers as well as people who take pictures and all of that stuff. And then we'll be wrapping things up with a video titled You Ran from the Wrong County. Officer stops driver at 140 miles an hour in a police chase. Hits him with the old pit maneuver. It's good stuff. I figured that'd be a good way to end the live today. So let's see if everything's running. My apologies for being so late. I was on the phone with the electric company forever today. See if we can figure out why my electric bill is tripled even though I'm not using any more electricity. They can't figure it out. Nobody can figure it out. I talked to the landlord. It's like nobody knows. Everybody's like, yeah, you're not using more electricity and we're not charging you anymore, but your bill's tripled. We don't know why. Just make sure you pay it. Okay. So I was doing that earlier. What's up, Toy Mafia? What's up, GQ? What's up, Bombay Man? What's up, Shannon? What's up, Fury's Rain? What's up, Proud Ankle? Oh, my chat just reset. What's up, Robert? What's up, T. Lawton? What's up, Moose Codes? Let's see. What's up, Anthony? What's up, RS? What's up, Snooks? Happy freedom, you hooligans. What's up, Sam? What's up, Captain Seamus? What's up, Daryl? Daryl, I'm not here yet. You still waking up? I don't imagine we'll have a whole ton of people here today because of how late it is. There's hooligans picking their kids up from school and stuff now since it's so late. We might end up just doing Coffee with Hooligans at 5 and we're going to change the branding and stuff. I think it's just easier for the majority of people. We'll see how it goes. What's up, everyone, on Jeff Mac Live YouTube channel, over on the secret channel. What's up, everyone, on Twitch? What's up, Grey Wolf? Happy freedom. What's up, everyone, on Kick? We got raided on Kick yesterday. We had like 35 people show up, and I didn't even see it. We were gaming, and I was in the middle of dying and killing. Didn't realize that we had a raid over there. Hopefully it'll happen again, or maybe everybody will leave because they thought this was a gaming channel. I don't really know. We'll see how it goes. Uh-oh, what's going on with Odyssey? Is Odyssey running? Is it running or walking? I think it's running. What's up, everyone on Odyssey? What's up, Donna Sparks? Happy freedom. What about Rumble? What's up, everyone on Rumble? What's up, DK? What's up, Screaming Eagle? What's up, Amanda? What's up, Rasta? Happy freedom. And what's up, everyone, on jeffmaclive.com. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get this first video started. Talking about Montana to become the first U.S. state to ban TikTok. Big old scary TikTok. Hey, I appreciate you, Jonathan. What's up, Melba?
Montana has become the first U.S. state to ban TikTok. The Chinese-owned short video app has over 150 million American users and has been under scrutiny over whether it can be used by China for intelligence gathering. Legislation Montana passed on Wednesday prohibits Google or Apple app stores from offering TikTok within state lines. TikTok may also face fines if the Montana users offered access to their app, and additional fines of $10,000 per day if violations continue. The ban will take effect in January next year. In signing the bill, Montana Governor Greg Gianforte said on Twitter he was protecting residents' personal and private data from the Chinese Communist Party.
Free speech.
Calls from national security hawks and lawmakers to ban TikTok over fears the data of Americans could be passed to Beijing have faced backlash from influencers, some who rallied in Washington in March over what they say would be a violation of their free speech. In response to Montana's ban, TikTok, which is owned by Chinese tech company ByteDance, said in a statement the bill infringes on the First Amendment rights of the people of Montana, adding that they will defend the rights of our users inside and outside of Montana. The company has previously denied that it has ever shared data with the Chinese government and has said it would not do so if asked. TikTok faced an effort by former President Donald Trump to ban new downloads of the app, but it was challenged in court and never took effect. Some of the app's free speech allies include Democrats in Congress, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and First Amendment groups like the American Civil Liberties Union. Jenna Leventov is policy counsel at the ACLU and told Reuters in April that Montana's ban would likely be challenged in court over constitutional reasons.
What they're doing is they are shutting down an entire platform that 150 million Americans use for constitutionally protected speech, for political organizing, for news gathering, for communication with loved ones. We view that as a prior restraint, right? That is when you shut down speech before it happens. By blocking this app, you are preventing those people in Montana from actually speaking in the first place on this app. And so we think that the courts would apply the highest level of constitutional scrutiny there.
TikTok is working on an initiative called Project Texas, which creates a standalone entity to store American user data in the U.S. on servers operated by U.S. tech company Oracle.
I don't know. There's a couple things about that seems a little off. So they want to ban TikTok because it's owned by the CCP, but it sounds like they're going to try and avoid that by putting servers here in America. So then there wouldn't be no connection to the CCP. I think it's all really weird because it's not even called TikTok in China. It's called something else. They have a whole separate app that's very similar, but it's not the same exact app. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. The other weird thing is that they're saying that you can't ban TikTok because it's an infringement on our First Amendment. But on TikTok, you can't just say whatever you want. So TikTok itself doesn't really believe in free speech because your speech is restricted just like it is on YouTube. But then TikTok is turning around saying, well, you can't ban us because it's free speech. So I don't know. That's like a slippery slope right there. I don't know. It's really weird. It's really weird. What's up, Crystal? No, I can't do any of that stuff. I shouldn't really have to get my electric on a budget and stuff. They're just charging me too much. My electric bill went from $65 to $165 without me having, like, I haven't done anything. I was gonna put the AC in the window, but now I don't really know. I don't think I'll have AC this year if this keeps up, but I don't know. Let's see. Matthew, the fact that it's owned by China. See, a lot of people think that the reason that the government wants to ban TikTok is because the government can't control TikTok. The government controls YouTube, they control Twitter, they control Facebook. We already know all that. The government can say, hey, go ban this person. Hey, go take down all the posts that say this. Hey, go take down all the links posted about this subject. They can enforce government overreach. They can't do that with TikTok. They can't go, hey, TikTok, you need to ban all these users and stuff. They can't do that. They don't have control over it because TikTok, its sources are in China. They don't have control over it. And so there's a lot of people that believe the only reason that they want to ban TikTok is because they can't have government overreach over there. They also say that there's a way to test this by going to TikTok and making a search, and then make the same search on American platforms like YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that, and notice the differences in the results. And it's because things over here are being filtered through censorship, where the TikTok censorship is different, that because it's a different agenda. Our government only wants us to see specific things, and there's specific things they don't want us to see. And China has their own kind of agenda that's not the same. So there's things flying through the filter on TikTok while they're still being filtered on the American platforms. And so people who use TikTok or who are successful at TikTok, they are feeling like the only reason they're taking TikTok away is censorship, because they want you to be on these platforms where you will be censored. Another thing that they kind of pointed out, users on TikTok, was the alternative to banning TikTok is to allow America to buy TikTok, an American company to purchase TikTok and the rights to all the software and everything. And then again, that kind of highlights they just want to control TikTok. It doesn't really have anything to do with China spying on us. It has to do with government overreach and the fact that they can't control TikTok. So that's like it's a really weird thing. Jonathan, two tyrannies fighting. Yeah, that's what it really seems like. It's not that they have our best interest at heart. Our government's like, oh man, we don't want them stealing your information. They don't, we don't want China to know the name of your cat and how much you twerk to this specific song. No, that's not what it is. They want to control us. And if they don't control us, well, we are forfeiting our information to the CCP. So it's like, it's not, there's no way to win. The only way to win is to go to jeffmaclive.com and go post your stuff there. That's the only way to win. It's the freest place on the internet. What's up, Flowers? What's up, Dharma Agent? What's up, Too Real? It's been a minute. Happy Freedom. What's up, MT Coiner? Look at all these names I haven't seen in so long. I've also noticed that I'm seeing more stuff on my search list and stuff, like OTR. OTR was someone that we covered during the Freedom Convoy, and I haven't seen a post from them since the convoy. My strike just expired. I got my music note back next to my name because I'm verified as an American artist. So I thought that was cool, but now I'm seeing all this stuff in my feed. I think getting a strike now affects you more than it used to. Anyways, that's just on my end, things I'm seeing on my end. So some of that YouTube censorship. Let's see. MT Coiner as a Montanian. That's probably not how you say that. My apologies. I'm okay with no TikTok. Yeah. All these platforms, we don't need it. We don't need it. Like, my phone is crazy. I have a folder. This is all the social media apps that I'm connected to, which you can't see because of the green screen. But that whole list, all the little dots on the screen, and there's another one that you can't see sliding down. But I have to be involved in all those apps, and that's not even everything. There's 6-7 other platforms out there. What do we need all this social media for? It's just to collect and harvest our information. That's all it's for. Making money off of us. What's up, Bagpiper? Happy Freedom. Eric. Fuck TikTok. Yeah. They all have their things. Have you guys heard of Clapper? Clapper is like the alternative to TikTok, but their community guidelines are harsher than TikTok's are, and I think that's why most people don't use Clapper. That's like the American TikTok. What's up, Lifelike? Happy Freedom. Yeah, Jeremiah, I doubt that'll ever happen, though. The people who got those machines want them there. There's people having problems with those machines before they came here. Eric, I go to Facebook every once in a while, and it's the same old crap. Facebook is just like... It's like the garbage disposal or something. It's like everything starts on TikTok, then it goes to Twitter, then it goes to YouTube, then it goes to Instagram, then it goes to Facebook. So you'll see videos and stuff on Facebook getting posted like today. That video is actually like 6 years old or whatever and came from a different platform. Or notice how many videos you see on all platforms that have the TikTok logo. It's because everything starts on TikTok. The majority of people, because of young people, and young people are attracted to new things, and TikTok's a newer thing, majority of people are using TikTok. Then they take those videos and they post them everywhere else. Hydrodynamic. I never got the clapper, thank God. Yeah. Sitting on the wrong toilet seats and stuff. I know. Let's see. Charles, TikTok has killed kids with challenges, but so has YouTube. YouTube has banned that. You're not allowed to do that kind of stuff anymore. If you impersonate a store employee for views, they'll ban you. If you make challenges like staying in a store overnight, they'll ban you. There's a lot of new community guidelines on YouTube, and they'll just keep adding it until there just isn't creators anymore, because that's what they're doing. They're rolling out, doing away with creators. What's up, Ojibwe? Oh, that's why it sounds so familiar. Is clap on, clap off, the clapper. Yeah, wow, I never put that together. Let's see. Charles, Facebook has turned into MySpace. Yeah. There's still a lot of people that go live on Facebook, but a lot of the people have been banned from going live on Facebook, like Antifa live streamers and stuff. They're all on TikTok now. They're all doing lives on there. But what's weird about TikTok is when you end the live, the video doesn't get stored. So there's channels that go live that have 0 videos on the channel. So if you came to the channel, they'd have all these followers, but there's no content under their profile. And it's because they go live, but their content isn't saved. So I wonder how that's going to be used in the future. They're pretty strict on their live, though. Like if you smoke a cigarette or something like that on the live, they'll just restrict you from being able to go live ever again. And their customer service is crap, but it's probably because, it's not here in America. Harley, it's like AJ. They banned him, but I still see him being shared. Yeah. It's crazy how AJ is just banned from all platforms, but then you still see his content. Crowder just got in trouble big time. He got like 3 strikes, or no, it must have been 2 strikes, because if he gets 3, then he's banned. He got 2 strikes like back to back, and he had AJ on when he was live, and that caused him to. That wasn't the specific reason. There was other reasons, but if you had AJ into anything, then boom, it's like Kanye West. You have Kanye West on your stuff, that video is being taken down because he's targeted. Who else? Everyone hates him, and they don't even know why they hate him. Andrew Tate. You show Andrew Tate, or if you have him on your show, you're banned. You're getting banned because they put a target on his back. What's up, Soul For Real? Happy freedom. Dharma Agent, MySpace is better. MySpace was better than Facebook, and I don't know why everyone left. Everyone left MySpace to go to Facebook, and I was really resistant to it. I was one of the last people to go over to Facebook. It never was better than MySpace. Other than like the groups and like the marketplace. If MySpace would have stuck around and developed the same way that Facebook did with like the marketplace and all that, it would have been better than Facebook. Dharma Agent, music on profile for MySpace, yeah. Yeah, I had just released like my first little mixtape and stuff when I had a MySpace. It was called Lyrical Arsonist. And I had like a little playlist on my profile and stuff, and people were coming and checking out my music. It wasn't monetized back then. It was just, you were just happy to have your music on the internet. Because the only people that had music on the internet were, millionaires and people with record deals and stuff. So that was the first time I was able to put my music on the internet. What's up, Suzette? What's up, Annette? Happy freedom. What's up, Patty? That sounds rough, Hydrodynamic. You're going to have to get that looked at. Maybe squatting over the mirror trying to figure things out. Suzette, try to watch Crowder do Trump's CNN interview. A horror. He's too loud. Need to be quieter with Crowder. We had 500 people show up on Rumble when we covered that. Because we covered Orange Eagle and CNN. We can't show it on YouTube because Orange Eagle's against YouTube community guidelines. But we showed it on Rumble and we had 400 people show up all saying the same thing. They were all like, we were watching Crowder, but he won't stop talking over it, so we're going to hang out here for a minute. And I was like, well, I don't interrupt the president. I won't. I'll sit there for 3 hours during a rally and not say anything because I have too much respect for him. So people were happy to be there. We actually gained 200 followers that night because of it. I don't know anything about that, Charles. Raja. I kind of miss MySpace. I had fun back then, no stress. Yeah, but that could have been an age thing. I could say the same thing, but I was also 15. I was 15 back when that was going on. MySpace is still around. I don't know if it functions properly. Mine is still there. I don't think there's anything on it. I'm pretty sure because it's gone through so many changes that it's pretty much all blank. I don't think there's even a single photo left on it. Ooh, did they take it down? No, it's still here. There's just nothing there. This is my 20-year-old Facebook. It's just, or MySpace, I mean, there's just nothing here. Is the music there? No, this is just all music. I thought maybe my stuff was there, but I guess not. Interesting. Trying to see if there's anything on here I can even show you. Nothing. The whole thing is blank. Weird. And it scrolls sideways. Yeah, see, this is why MySpace isn't around anymore. It's not being developed. I don't know. Maybe if you like went and started a new account and stuff, maybe it would be cool, but I don't know. I imagine all these accounts are fakes. They're probably all bots and stuff. Whatever. Whatever. Silly MySpace. Suzette, Carrie. Oh, I can't say her name. She's targeted on YouTube also. Mrs. Lake's trial is a nightmare. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. It was a nightmare last time. Everybody was like, I have to be careful in talking about this, but they all did the whole trial thing. They all agreed that there was stuff that wasn't right, and then they said, "Oh well," and ended the trial. I imagine that's how this is gonna go too. Jeremiah, I had Jeff Dunham as a friend on MySpace when I was in California. Sweet. You can get people to follow you on Twitter and stuff, but like Instagram and Facebook and stuff, it's hard to get famous people to follow you. What's up, Blue Crow? Happy freedom. Yeah, Suzette, I'm not surprised at that. They were doing that last time too. It was like everything that was said, there was an objection. Then they got to wait, and they got to debate it, and then they got to decide if they're going to go through with it or not. And then they got to rephrase the question, and da-da-da-da-da. And it's, yeah. That's why I think that attorneys should have to fist fight for objections. They wouldn't be so quick to be doing that. You object when you're ready to throw hands. If you ain't willing to throw hands, well, you better just sit back and let things roll out. It'd definitely make it more entertaining. What's up, Zero Gravity? I don't know what you're talking about, but I appreciate you being here. You be careful out there, T. Lawton. Don't you hurt yourself. What's up, Grace? Happy freedom. Raja, I used to play Mafia Wars and had fun. I was in my 30s. I used to play Mafia Wars too. That's funny. What's up, Mike? We have fallen and we can't get up. That's how I feel about the border. There's a video that I I don't think it made it to the schedule. I think there was some phrases can't be used on YouTube. Yeah, I don't think it made the list, but I believe I posted it in Gilded. But I see another perspective of why they're letting people come here illegally. And they keep claiming it's because they need somebody to work the fields. More or less, that's what they're saying over and over again. And they all happen to be blue team people saying that they're defending the open border. And that's how they're defending it, is that we have jobs that need to be filled. And if they're not, then we don't have anyone to basically do cheap labor. It's like, oh, blue team's back up to what they used to be. Maybe we will have another civil war, but we'll be freeing people that came across the southern border. I didn't even think about it until I didn't think about it from that perspective until I had seen that video. I dropped it in Gilded. I believe I also put it on the website, on the news board. If you guys are on the website, you got to join the groups. You got to go to the group page and actually join into the groups, because I went through the groups and I noticed that we got like 40 or 50 people on there, but then there's groups that got like 6 people and 10 people, and if you post in there, nobody else can see it. You have to be a part of the group. So if you're on jeffmaclive.com, go to the group tab and just join all the groups. I don't have a way to force you to join it, but if you don't join it, you won't know what's going on in the group. I have an announcement board, news board, all that stuff. Yeah, zero gravity. That's what they're trying to do right there. Raja, just seeing the attorneys fighting, it would be so good. We would cover every trial, no matter how stupid it was, if we were seeing, attorneys fist fighting for objections. Hydrodynamic, I might need a medic. You can get those man ponds. I don't, stop the bleeding. Ghost, did you see the FBI whistleblower? I did see that. I couldn't find a nice condensed video. It was all like really, come on mouse, you dying on me? It was just really long, drawn out videos. I don't think I have that on the list either. I watched like 3 of them, and this is just too long. I don't want to watch a 30-minute video or cover it. I watched it, but I don't want to sit here and make you guys all watch it. Captain Seamus, that's one way to do promotion. Alright, reading through the chat before we move forward here. What's up, Mr. Beansy Beans? It didn't go good. They're gonna have to call me back. Nobody can figure out why my electric bill is triple. They want me to pay it, but they just don't know why it's so high. And that doesn't make any sense to me. Grey Wolf, I will not make an account on TikTok. Yeah, I have to be everywhere. It's just the best way to reach people who need to be reached. Grey Wolf, why is BLM in Congress? Because they work there. That's the scary thing. I didn't even know that was like a thing, but it definitely is a thing. Thank you so much, Mr. Beansy Beans, for the 1,000 bits over on Twitch. And I appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, let's see. What's up, Rabid? What's up, Easy Million? There's a guy I used to work with at this cherry factory that's nearby. And I used to love walking in there, and it smells like warm cherries, and that was awesome. But getting that high fructose corn syrup all over your clothes and stuff, I hated that. Like 5 o'clock in the morning, you get splashed with high fructose corn syrup that's like 1,000,000 degrees. Just, it's no good. It is no good. But there was a guy who didn't mind any of that. Didn't mind any of that at all. I would always go in there, and I'd be just bitching and sweating and mad and tired. Talking about, I can't wait till break. I need to eat like 6 sandwiches because I'm the hungry hippo. He'd be like, what? You'll be all right. You'll be all right. And he spoke a little broken English. He generally speaks Spanish. And I'm like, man, I'm dying. I don't know how you're not dying in here. He's like, easy money. Easy money. He says it to me all the time. Easy money. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. I'm in here breaking my back and I'm dying. I'm covered in high fructose corn syrup and I'm sticky and I don't like it. I don't like it. He'd always say to me, easy money. Flowers made it over to Kick. I appreciate you watching on Kick. You're so awesome. I gotta put this pen down. I'm gonna sit here and click this pen right in your guys' ear. Can't help it. I fidget. It's how I process the stress. You ever see news reporters like stacking their papers and stuff while they're talking on the news? That'd be me. I'd just be sitting there stacking my papers for 3 hours. I got this nervous twitch. Pumpkin, I watch hearings so I can yell at Dems. Yeah, there was a lot of hearings and stuff today. That was almost all the news was. I spent a lot of time on the phone with the electric company wondering why my bill is 3 times what it's supposed to be, and then I was trying to find stuff to cover for the news, and most of it's just clips of hearings. Screaming Eagle, we're spoiled. More or less. More or less. I generally don't watch hearings. I think they're just too boring. I try, Pumpkin. Oh, I appreciate you. Screaming Eagle. Yeah, we try to keep the chat. I don't want to say we keep it clean because we don't just ban everybody. Sometimes people get that way, though. We'll have people come in and they'll just type BLM in the chat. I don't care if they do that. But you're not going to do it 3 times in a row. Like, they can come in and say, oh, I voted for Old Man Walter. And we're all going to make fun of them, but I'm not going to ban them for it. But if they say it 3 times in a row, we will. Or if they start picking fights with other people, we will. I try to treat the chat like my living room. Like, everything's all good while it's good, but if you're going to come in here and act like an asshole, well, then we're going to throw you out. And I think everybody's got the vibes now. And so we got a flow. So on all platforms, it's like that. On, where are we live on? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're live on 8 platforms right now. And anywhere where there's a chat that has more than 3 people in it, that's how it goes. Everything runs fairly smooth. Jeremiah, magnetic power. Yeah, it doesn't really matter to me. I live in an apartment. People always say that too. They're like, well, why don't you get solar panels and a generator and stuff? I mean, as if I have money to do that. Because I live in an apartment, I'm not allowed to. I'm not even allowed to hang an air conditioner out of the window anymore. But they told me that I can, because I asked yesterday. They said I can get an air conditioner that has like a hose that exhausts out the window or whatever. That I'm allowed to do that without breaching my lease. We'll see. Chosen One, we'll never meet Beetlejuice. You can. She's still in Chicago. I'm sure you could go say hi if you really wanted to. Yeah, Zero Gravity, you ain't wrong. I'll be surprised if anybody goes for Old Man Walter. Legitimately. Harley, how many megabytes do you have for internet? I have 400 download, 100 upload, or something like that. I have whatever is maxed out for the local internet place. Like, I had the top package, and then I told them I was a business, and then they were like, oh, we got this like secret ultra package, and I was like, okay. And so I have the best I can get. Sure, it's not as good as most of you guys, but it's the best I have for where I live. Corey, it might be because you started gaming stream at night. Why would that matter? My computer runs 24 hours a day. Hydrodynamic, do I need my boxers if I'm in your living room? No. No. Like, you know those topless beaches? This is like a bottomless living room. And my gas, electric, internet has all gone up ridiculously. My problem is that they're not charging me more. Like, my rate hasn't changed. Like, even they don't know what's wrong. When I talk to them, they're like, well, your numbers are the same, but we don't know why. you're being billed so much. We don't know why your meter, like they're saying that my electricity goes up after 8 p.m. They're like, yeah, it looks like your water heater is kicking on after 8 p.m. Well, that's funny because I don't have a water heater. They're like, well, maybe it's your furnace. Well, I don't have a furnace either. And they're like, oh, well, we don't know why that's happening. Me either, because I don't work for the electric company. So it's rough. Harley, I only have 75 megabytes. I used to have 6. My download speed was 6 megabytes until I became a live streamer. And then I was like, well, this isn't going to do. And I've just gone up and up and up. I'll have to get one, Raja, because I'm going to be kicking the bucket if I don't get an air conditioner. I can't survive it. It's too much. You guys crack me up. Yeah, I see you guys saying to blame Old Man Walter and inflation and stuff. That's not what's happening with me. There's some sort of technical issue, and my problem is to get someone to go fix it. Like they're like, well, maybe try unplugging things. Well, I have 3 lights on, 3 fans on, my computer's running, my fridge is running. Which thing do you want me to unplug? What do you want me to unplug? There isn't anything else there's nothing else plugged in. So what do you want me to do here? And they were like, oh, well, no, it's got to be something else. And I'm like, well, you're going to have to come here and investigate because I don't know what it is. This is my cell that I pay for. I live in a very small room. Like an inmate. Jonathan, even the most hardcore games won't do that. Yeah. Yeah, Kobe says, I don't have any of that. I don't have a water heater. I don't have a furnace. The entire building runs off a boiler system that's powered by gas and is not connected to any of our meters. So, mystery. Just mystery bills coming up. Pesky, it might be worth looking into your fuse box at the meter to see if someone tapped in. They just replaced the meter. And they just had a person come out yesterday to plug directly into the wall. Too real. What about hot water tank? Don't have one. What's up, Glimmer Freak? Happy freedom. And you can if you want to. You're a free hooligan. You can if you want to. Hydrodynamic? No. No. Blue Crow, you still got to blame Old Man Walter. I blame him when I catch a red light. I blame him when I stub my toe. Walk around the corner and bang the wall like, oh my God, Walter, I hate you. Why'd you do this to me? You're wrecking my life. Fitzy, if you live in an apartment, there might be a wire tied to your neighbors. But the thing is that nothing has changed. I've lived here for 5 years. My lifestyle hasn't really changed. There hasn't been any renovations or anything like that. It's a mystery. Cinderella, you need to unplug everything and see if the meter is still spinning. Yeah, something. Anthony, stop charging your Tesla. Yeah. No, I don't think I'll ever get a Tesla. I get another Subaru before I do that. I like my Subaru. I just wish I didn't have to take it to the shop all the time. What's up, Grateful Ed? Happy freedom. Cinderella, might be someone else in your apartment. No. My apartment's so small that if you're in the back room and the cat's in the living room and farts, you can smell it. I said that to the lady at the electric company and she didn't even laugh. And I was like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. Just trying to throw an analogy so people can understand, but no, it was too much. Tough crowd. It's rough. Bagpiper, I bought a Civic last year. It had a dent in it. I blamed Old Man Walter. I'm saying he needs to stop wrecking our lives. Yeah, Copious Haze, that's what I think it is. I think the meter is bad because they just changed the meter and all of a sudden my bill tripled and they were like, weird. But then they showed up yesterday and plugged directly to the wall to see the charge coming from the wall. And they were like, well, no, the meter's reading accurate. I'm like, so what? You've been charging me too little for the last 5 years? And they were like, maybe. And then they were looking at the energy usage and they're like, no, something happened between now and September. I'm like, not for my life, it didn't. Well, how, Kyle, next Subaru, get a WRX STI. I wish. I want one. I think they're super cool. I want to learn how to work on the Boxer motors because a lot of them have the same engine in it. And so if you can learn how to fix one, you can kind of learn to fix them all. Copia says, yeah, they have no humor. Yeah, I was like, come on, that was a good one. Grateful Lad, Subarus love oil. Yeah. First time I picked up WMM right after I'd got my Subaru, he's like, you smell that? And I was like, smell what? He's like, it smells like burning oil. And I was like, no, that's just what Subarus smell like. It's just the way they are. It's just the way they are. Harley, get a Supra. I would. I like Toyotas and I like Subarus. I like Chevys too, but my last Chevy gave me a bunch of problems. They might make, but they don't make enough four-wheel drive Chevy cars. Because I need four-wheel drive. Because where I live, they don't even plow the roads. I'm not sure, Ohio Kyle. Fitzy, they're estimating your bill. I'd ask about that. Nope. It's an exact reading. I did ask about that. Grateful Lad, after 100K, they burn oil. Just keep it full. Yeah. Mine's got 110,000 miles, but my car is factory rated to 300,000 miles, which means I should be able to run it to like 350, 400,000 miles as long as I keep it up. But every 100,000 miles, you have to update the timing belt and the head gaskets, and I already did both. So I should be good until 200,000 miles before I got to do head gaskets and timing belt again. And really, it should go longer than that because I drive like an old man. You guys would be disappointed to see me driving around. Like, I come to a full stop at a stop sign. Let's see a show of hands of how many people do that in the chat, because I bet 70% of you don't. I bet you do that rolling stop stuff. You just kind of get your car to jerk a little bit, and then you just take the turn and stuff. Not me. I come to a complete stop, and 90% of the time, the car behind me almost nails me. Like, almost every time. I see them slam on their brakes and putting their hands on the dashboard to brace themselves. See the stop sign? You're supposed to stop. I use my turn signals. I obey the speed limit. People hate that. They hate that. My grandpa used to sit in the passenger seat, and I'd pull off from a stop sign, and he'd, come on now, there's a hot ride in the car. I'm like, come on, Grandpa, I'm not. He's like, yeah, you are. You're going to make me have to drive. I'm like, oh, my God. And he did that 5-6 years. Never again. Just drive like an old man. I just get down. Yep. Malba, a California stop. Yeah, in Michigan, they call it a Michigan stop. It says in the law, though, that you are supposed to come to a complete stop, and your car it's not lunge. It's something like lunge forward, meaning you can see from the outside you came to a complete stop. So people just go and slam their brakes to cause the car to duck down, and then they just make the turn. Grateful Ed, I lost my license and I don't think I'll ever find it. That is rough stuff. I had a friend that abandoned his vehicle because he was in a situation and they suspended his license and he had to pay so much money and go to alcohol classes and stuff to get his license back. It took forever. It took like 3 or 4 years. I mean, we're not friends now. He obviously makes bad choices, but we used to be friends back when I was in high school. Ohio Kyle, I drive a manual, so I roll stop. Yeah. I have a hard time driving manual without Fast and Furious, like pedal flipping and all that. Otherwise, I'm just stalling out the car. What's up, Slaughterhound? Happy freedom. Copious Hayes, complete stop and count to 3 Mississippi. I mean, yeah, I probably do unintentionally stay for a few seconds. And my husband does a complete stop. I don't drive. Yeah. A lot of people don't. Or using turn signals. That kills me too, is people just randomly making a turn. Or even coming to a stop, being in like on a single lane both ways, and then just stopping. And you're like, what are you doing? And then they just make a turn. And it's like, you have turning indicators. Turn those on. I don't know. People will find out the hard way. Glimmer Free, cat farts are horrid. I know, Klaus Daniels is the worst. He is the worst about that. I actually changed his food because he was like knocking me out. I was like, why is this so spicy? Like, you need to chill out, cat. I had to change his food. What's up, Sly Dog? Happy freedom. Glimmer of Freak. In Missouri, we call it a California stop. Cops call it that too. That's funny. Too real, too stoned to drive fast. I love to cruise. I like cruising too. People get busted for that here so much because they think because weed is legal here that they can smoke and drive, and they get busted all the time, and they don't even hide it. They just get pulled over and they're like, "What's up, officer?" and blow the smoke in his face. He's like, "You're going to jail, buddy." I don't know. Hydrodynamic. One time my AC and water heater went out in my apartment at the same time and it sucked. Yeah, that sounds rough. Well, that's what killed me yesterday is I spent $313 to get my car serviced yesterday. And then I got home and then they were doing construction into the wall right there. And so I couldn't go live. And then I got a bill for $165, which is $100 more than I'm used to paying for electricity. And I was like, yo, how much money you guys want from me today? I don't have money. Like, you can take one testicle, but just one. You gotta save the next one just in case you guys rack my bill up again. Too real. I used to have a Subaru SVX. Loved that car until the transmission went out. Yeah, that's rough stuff. I guess the transmission is kind of weak. So if you don't take care of it, like they say, even the tires, you have to have 4 matching tires or it can wreck the transmission. So if you get a nail in the tire, you have to get the exact same tire or replace all 4. And I'm like, man, I'm not looking forward to that. What's up, Iron Horse? Happy freedom. Raja, oh, I heard tacos. Oh, man. I kind of want tacos today now that you say that. Too real. The cat must have got into your taco sauce. Nah, I don't know. I was getting him like cheap food, and he was rough. He was roughing me up. I had to change his food over. Now he gets fancy stuff. I'm trying to think what it's called. I get it from Tractor Supply. It's Taste of the Wild or something like that. I don't know. It makes Klaus Daniels think he's a lion. What's up, one for the team? Happy freedom. Mr. Beansy Beans, is there any video footage of Old Man Walter in Japan? Not that I've seen. I wasn't looking for it, though. But I didn't see anything about him being in Japan. I mean, I know he's there. He's there right now, or he was, but I haven't seen any video of it. Payton. Yeah, same. So I think I'm going to end up getting tacos today. Captain Seamus X or SVX. Yeah, they had a problem for a year or two. It wasn't actually the transmission. It was a filter that they put in and it would plug up. That's what I just had done on my car. Is they have a filter like underneath the transmission, but then there's one inside of the transmission. And you got to get it serviced, otherwise you have issues. Alright, we're going to move on to this next video. It's titled Maxwell Frost. GOP bill attempting to attack and vilify the Black Lives Matter movement. So this representative of Florida in Congress is a BLMer.
Speaker, I rise today to talk about what this resolution is really about. And no, it's not just about supporting local law enforcement, but it's also about trying to attack and vilify the Black Lives Matter movement and the activism that helped shape our nation and help us more clearly see the injustices carrying out in our communities. In 2020, I myself was on the forefront of this movement. Alongside the world, I watched online outraged over the killing and lynching of George Floyd, a man who did not deserve to die at the hands of a police chokehold while he called out for his mother. Alongside the world, I was outraged over the loss of Breonna Taylor, a young woman who deserved to not be shot dead in her own home. And like millions across this country, I marched for change, marched to fight for our voices to be heard, marched to fight for a world where that injustice does not exist, and marched in a non-violent way alongside my community in Central Florida. I saw the pain and the hurt of so many who had spent their lives living in a nation where they feared their well-being every time they stepped outside of their home due to negative interactions with law enforcement. Not every interaction, but many interactions. And we fought for public safety that centers the community so we can truly tackle crime and conditions that breed it. And I believe then what I believe now. The color of your skin and how much money you have in the bank should not determine the treatment you get in the eyes of the law. The color of your skin and how much money you have in the bank should not be a determining factor of whether you live or die. No one deserves to die because they are black. No one deserves to die because they are poor. And yet today we're voting on a resolution that does nothing but to divide us as a country. Does nothing to really support police and everything to do with vilifying a movement of people, trying to rewrite history to make what was a global, mainly non-violent protest seem evil. And you can pass all the sham resolutions you want, but you cannot take away our stories, because I remember being tear gassed, maced, arrested, and jailed on the streets of my own hometown. And today, I get to represent those same streets in the United States Congress. You cannot whitewash this history. These stories live on, and Black Lives Matter. I yield back.
So that's a representative of Florida. I actually pulled up. I wanted to know who he was. Maxwell Frost. He was born January 17th, 1997, so he's fairly young, which is why he's stupid. He's an American politician, an activist, and a musician serving as the U.S. representative for Florida's 10th congressional district since 2023, which I don't know why they wrote that because it's currently 2023. He was previously the national organizing director for March for Our Lives. So they just went ahead and just put an activist / musician, which it doesn't mention any more of like what musically he does, but Now he's in Congress. Okay. Cause that's something we need. We need that. No good. It's no good. Blue Crow, no. It didn't mention that, but you know, it's probably there. Salty Ragu, rap doesn't count. I don't know, they didn't post this mixtape and stuff. Like, if you type my name in, all my music will show up. His music didn't show up. He must not have been that good. I don't know. What's up, Ken? Happy freedom. Happy freedom. Happy freedom. Yeah, I don't know. And that's from today. That video is from earlier today. Up there defending BLM in Congress. For what? What? Like, just, I don't know. Salty Ragu, the skin flute, he plays it daily. Harley Derek Chauvin is appealing his George Floyd case. I think he's appealed a few times. I think it keeps getting rejected, but I think they're waiting for enough time to pass to then go do the appeal and kind of like get him off the hook while no one's looking. That's what I think is going to happen. Hey, I'm really sorry to hear that, Grace. Too real? I am 15 minutes from Lake Michigan. Eric Soros, most likely. Most likely. I feel like a requirement in order to be a politician is they need to see, do you have any connection to Soros? Because why are we allowing that to happen? Everybody knows these attorneys and these politicians and all these people are all being controlled by Soros, and then they just, okay, no big deal. I don't understand that. Eric, sure, he plays a mean skin flute. He plays the nice ones too. Captain Seamus. They're all demented. Yeah. They might as well just start doing their rituals and stuff on live television. You know, all their orgies they do and praying to demons and pagan gods and, you know, eating children and drinking blood. And not like they should just do that on live TV. It would be more entertaining than what they do on TV. And it wouldn't really change anything because they're still the same person. We know that they're those kind of people. And then we would all just be honest. We would just all see what's going on here. I don't know. I don't know why they don't at this point. What's up, Nefties? Happy freedom. Jab, a lot of big cities are liberal. It's like that here too. The whole, like, all of Michigan is like fairly conservative unless you go to Detroit, Lansing, Kalamazoo, Muskegon, and there's like a few other ones. All the big cities are all blue. Austin is full of lefties. In Texas, yeah. Bad hombre. That guy is what you would call a grifter. Something. I don't know why he's defending BLM. I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. Like, what do they even need defense from? Thorn blades. Demons in Congress, yeah. That's what it's like. What's a wet blanket? Happy freedom. Too real. Where do they go to party on the lake? Secret spots. Because you're not allowed to do it. The Coast Guard is right there in Ludington. They will show up on you. Big time. They're not kidding around. They will pull up on you. There's always moving parties. Unless you can get into one of the mansions. Because on Ludington, between Ludington and Manistee on the beach, it's just all mansions from millionaires and stuff. People come to town with semi-trailers that have helicopters on it. There's one guy that shows up every year that he has a semi and a long flatbed trailer, and it usually has a small helicopter and a Ford GT on it that's all blue with the white stripes. And it's awesome. You'll see it driving around town every once in a while. What's up, hair juicer? Let's see. Yeah. Some places was a little bit better than others during the riots and stuff. They had a few protests here in Michigan, but they didn't last very long. What's up, Tara? I don't know what that is. I do not know. One for the team. I see 5 people on here and I can't get on Rumble. I don't know why people... What happens when you try to go to Rumble? Everybody always says that, well, I can't get on to Rumble. What? Like, you're not able to get on the platform itself? Or you can't find me on Rumble? We're live on 2 different YouTube channels. We're live on Twitch. We're live on Kick. We're live on Odyssey. We're live on Rumble. And we're live on jeffmaclive.com. And we're also live on Twitter. Mr. Beansy Beans, it's because they gotta be victims. That's how they get their way. They don't realize, like, just doing the right thing in front of other people allows you to have a say in what happens. People go, oh, I know this guy. He's a pretty stand-up guy. Let's hear what he has to say. No, they are used to being wrong, and people are like, well, we don't want to hang out with you because you're wrong. We don't want to listen to you because you're always wrong. You're committing crime. You're being a bad guy. But then if they're a victim, you know what the phrase is, we always listen to victims, we always believe victims. Well, it's just, everybody's a victim now. And so they're like, well, you got to believe me, you got to do what I say, you got to give me some free handouts because I'm a victim. Poor me, poor me, poor me. They need t-shirts that say poor me on them. Serum is Rumble free. It's hard to say now. They just changed stuff. I think you can go live on Rumble for free, but you get a very limited account. But when I started, it was $100 a month to be able to live stream on Rumble, and I couldn't afford that, and they dropped the price to $50 a month. And so I started paying $50 a month to live stream on Rumble, even though Rumble doesn't generate any revenue, just because I don't have high enough numbers and stuff. But I think it dropped down. I think I pay $35 a month right now to go live on Rumble. Something like that. But as far as watching it, it doesn't cost anything. You just have to have an account. I think you might be able to watch without logging in, but you can't comment in the chat without logging in. Hydrodynamic, I get Rumble notifications 1 to 2 days later. But now I don't even get them. I don't even get Rumble notifications now at all. That's why everybody should be using Gilded or jeffmaclive.com, because I send out notifications on the website too. Bagpiper, I have the same problem. I go to your profile on Rumble and half the time there's no live video. I think it's because they make you have an account and then they make you make a channel. So there's the Great Jeff Mac on Rumble, and then there's Jeff Mac Live on Rumble. But the first account is the account. Jeff Mac Live is the channel. And I don't know why it's like that. I don't know. Too real. Is there a speed limit on the lake for Michigan? I don't know. I know there is for smaller lakes, like if you go to Hamlin Lake or if you go to Silver Lake or Stony Lake, there's like no wake zones and stuff like that. But on Lake Michigan, I don't know. I know it's rough. You gotta be brave to go out there on Lake Michigan. It gets rough out there. Dutton, did you see the impeachment MTG laid out? I did, and we were going to cover it, but then she started talking about Orange Eagle too much. And so I wasn't able to show it. But it was like a 10-minute video saying that she's serving Old Man Walter impeachment papers and I think a couple other people. I don't believe anything's going to happen, though. I wish there would. I wish something would happen. I wish they would impeach those people. Sort of. I don't really want to hear Hyena Harris running the show either. I don't think that would be a good time. So I don't know. I wish it would happen, though. I just wish that some accountability would be handed out. That would be a small victory. Have Old Man Walter being impeached, I think that would make people happy, but I also think that Hyena Harris would take over and run things into the ground. What's up, Indigo? Happy freedom. Yeah, Mr. Beansy Beans, exactly. $45 more followers and I'll be able to get monetized on Kick. Serum, I could never do customer service. I would just say step away from the internet. What's up, Clomp? Glad you found us. Yeah, I think I would have a hard time doing customer service. Now, I've done more customer service type of work than any other kind of work. But at this point, I think people are so stupid that you can read it all over my face. If I was at a cash register or somewhere where a customer is going to see my face and I see them walk up with a compliance cloth on or, Biden 2024 shirt or something like that, oh my God, it would be written all over my face. They'd be able to tell up front. And you'd probably be able to tell by the tone in my voice that I think that they're just full-blown idiots. And I don't know how long I would make it in customer service. Just backhanded compliments all day. Dutton, it's a step in the right direction. Yeah, if we could get Old Man Walter impeached, that would be something. Eric, why they are Great Lakes and not regular? Lake Michigan, I don't even know the other Great Lakes. Lake Michigan is because it's the biggest body of fresh water on the planet. Hamlin Lake, Stony Lake, Silver Lake, and all the other lakes are just regular. Those are regular lakes. I don't know what you're talking about, Matthew. I read this sentence like 3 or 4 times. Too real. Military will be the only way soon. 95% government is no good. I don't even know if the military would do anything. I think at this point, if the military was told to do something to us, they would just leave. And I don't think they'll ever be notified to go and make an arrest for the politicians. Because I think the people that control them are a part of all the bad stuff. So I think the power that the military has is to walk away. If they were told to turn on the American people, or if they were told to go, well, they would never be told to go arrest politicians because the leaders are all involved in the bad stuff. So it's kind of that or nothing. It's either do what you're told and go overseas and hopefully you survive, or the day that they're going to try and round us all up. And I think if that came, they would just walk away. There's a lot of people who don't think so because of all the woke new military personnel, but they're soft. They're soft. They're just loud, soft and loud. Just like anybody else that's woke. They're just soft and loud. But people who are the real deal, they actually stand up for our country and stuff, they would walk. They would never, I don't think they would ever turn against the American people. Flash, what does your shirt say? It says, Happy Freedom. It does. I know I was thinking about backing the camera off, but then I'd just be a little guy on the screen. It says Happy Freedom. Let's see. There. Now you guys can go check out all the shirt designs. We have tons of designs, and we got new designs coming out very soon. Yesterday, the landlord was trying to recruit me to do maintenance here at the apartment complex. I was like, no, I don't really want to do that. Yeah, too real. I feel the same way. I can't believe people are still wearing compliance cloths. Like, it just tells me that you're either really stupid or your teeth are rotten from drug abuse. That's all that goes through my mind. I see people with compliance cloth, I'm like, oh, there's a dumb person or a drug addict. Yeah, Snooks, no. Nope, I don't have the goods on the chest. I don't. Jeremiah, doesn't every Great Lake feed off or into the Mississippi River? Not that I know of. I've never heard that. I don't even know where the Mississippi River is. Probably near Mississippi, I assume. But I've never heard that the Great Lakes deal with the Mississippi River. I'm not saying it's not true. I've never heard that. Eric, I said the Great Lakes are more like the ocean than a lake. It's true. You cannot see across Lake Michigan. I think there's people that think you can. You can't. Like when I'm in Ludington and I look across the lake, and I've showed you guys on the live when I go on flag walks, you cannot see across the lake. Harley FEMA Camp 2024 coming. We're all going to be in the green zone. It's going to be lit. I don't know. They think they're going to be doing something, putting us in the green zone, and then realize it's a bunch of hooligan sleepers. We all just unite and start screaming "Happy Freedom." They're gonna be like, "What did we do?" Start partying. Everybody's all drunk. It'd be awesome. 24/7 boycott Target. I heard that earlier, but I don't know what Target did. Like, what did Target do to make everyone mad? Is it all the new clothing line? I seen a video where somebody was in Target and they're pointing out that all the children's clothes have rainbows and talk about that kind of stuff, that flamboyant stuff. But I didn't know if it was legit or if it was like a trolling video. The one I seen was like on TikTok, so I mean, You know, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. Thorn, that's racist. No, Lake Michigan is rough. It is rough stuff. Yeah, Robert, that's almost word for word what I said. Yeah, Eric, that's what I thought. It was the flamboyant stuff. Over at Target. Yeah, there's a Target, I think, in Muskegon. I might make a trip out there to go see for myself what they have out there and, you know, document it and whatnot. I mean, it doesn't matter. Everybody already knows, but I would like to see for myself. You know, people are always talking about protests and stuff. Well, I don't have the money to drive 15 hours away to go see protests, even though there isn't any happening now. But I could afford to go to Muskegon to see all the flamboyant stuff they have on children's clothing. Steve, I love my Subaru, not super powerful, but climbs through snow. Yeah, I think they were designed to handle snow. I know my Outback was. If I go and look up stats for my Outback, it was designed to be in rough terrain, snowy areas and stuff. That's why it's like a station wagon with a lift kit on it. Amanda went to Target today and it was all about the rainbows. Interesting. Yeah, I might have to make a trip. What day is Thursday? It's almost 4 o'clock. We'll see. I won't be able to go live. I can't ever get signal when I go in those department stores. I don't know if that's on purpose or what, but I'll see if I can make it today, make a trip and go and record it. Again, I know it's not breaking news. Everybody already knows, but I would like to see if, you know, that stuff for myself. Mike, the Great Lakes drain into the Atlantic via the St. Lawrence Seaway. I don't know what that is. See, now I'm going to have to look. Can I even access maps from the Brave browser? Oh, I can. Lake Michigan looks like it doesn't go anywhere. Make sure my house isn't posted on here. So all the blue stuff is the water, just FYI. This chunk right here in the center of the screen, this is the body of water I'm used to. And it seems pretty contained. I mean, other than like right at the top here, at the tippy top of the mitten where you can see the flashing because you can't see my mouse. I don't see this being connected. Like, where is the Mississippi River? Like, where is that? Ooh, where is that at? And how would Lake Michigan flow into that? It looks pretty landlocked, except for at the top of Michigan right here. So I don't know. I don't see how it connects to the ocean, and I don't see how it connects to the Mississippi River. I don't see that. So I don't know. I don't know. Eric, you're not wrong, and that's what kills me is kids can't read, write, or do math, but they're supposed to be deciding who they're going to love as an adult. That just that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Flash, they're brainwashing our youth. They are manipulating them to think crazy things. And they're already teaching them defense too. So if they come home and they tell you that and you're like, what? That's wrong. And they're like, well, I knew you would say that. My teacher told me that you're a bigot. Like, now it's done. The brainwashing is pretty much complete at that point. Easy. Those Forester STIs, though, they have lots of problems. Those Foresters have tons of problems. They're in the shop all the time. The new ones might be okay, but the older Foresters, those are no good. Those are no good. The Outbacks have the best rating out of all the Subarus. Well, unless you get like the BRZ The BRZ are sports models, though. They're made for street. They're not made to go off-road. Those have a whole different set of ratings. But the Outbacks have the highest ratings. And then I want to say it's the Imprezas, then the Legacies, then the Foresters, and then whatever is outside of that. What is the other ones? They're like Bajas or whatever. Those are cool, but I think they're discontinued. They're almost like the Subaru El Camino. Matthew, I don't know what you mean. Pro Drive. Here, Juicer, my Chevy Spark was a tank in snow, deceptively heavy, so it would plow through the snow up to the lights. Yeah, that's what I like about my Outback, is it's lifted, and so it just cruises right over the snow. Otherwise, it would do the same thing. It'd be like just snow coming up over the front end. What's up, Firmus? Happy Freedom. Diane, it's a long river. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't see it on the map. Hydrodynamic and oven mitt. Yeah. We call it... It's funny because Michigan doesn't sound tough, and you don't really see that many tough people from Michigan, and if you do, they're all from Detroit. Oh, I'm from Detroit, I'm so tough. Or Grand Rapids or Muskegon. Or Kalamazoo, which they call Kazoo. But they call it the mitten. Everything's the mitten. So like I live in the West Mitten. Some people live South Mitten. Other people live, most people who live on the East Side, they just say they're from Detroit. Like Detroit's like this place, but then there's a huge circle around Detroit, and all these people claim they're from Detroit. And I don't know, because people think of Michigan, you're either a Youper or you're from Detroit. It's like the whole rest of the state doesn't exist to people outside of Michigan. But people who are really hardcore, they'll say, I'm from the dirty mitten. I'm like, that's like saying you're from the dirty sock. You're from the dirty underwear. I don't know. It doesn't sound good to me. And Lake Michigan drains into the Chicago River. I believe it. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. I'm not denying you guys. I just don't know anything about it. And when I looked on the map, there was any connection to anything. So I don't know. We're all figuring this out together. Let's see. Good Lord, T-Law, and we're going to pass that. That is, I almost want to copy and paste that. That is, I might just save that for later. It's not going on a t-shirt, I'll tell you that, but I'm going to say that to WMM later because I love saying terrible things to him that just makes him like twist his face up like, yo, why would you say that? Things I can't say on the live. Manic Miner, homeschool your kids. Yeah. The biggest thing is going to work. People have to work so much just to be able to live that they can't stay home to watch not watch their kid. Well, yeah, they can't even stay home to watch their kids, let alone homeschool them, that's too bad. Flip a cross track. Yeah, I think those cross tracks are all right. I'm trying to think. I seen one at the shop when I was there, because I'm always asking Dennis down there at Paul's Auto, if you guys are in Michigan, anywhere in Michigan, I don't care if you're on the east side or if you're up in the UP, it is worthwhile to drive down to Paul's Auto over in Hart. They have high integrity. They're the best mechanic I've ever dealt with. But I always ask Dennis when I see Subarus in the lot, I'm like, hey, what's going on with that? And he's like, oh, it needs to get this fixed. And I'm like, you see a lot of those? And he's, no. And sometimes, like a Forester, he's like, yeah, we get a lot of Foresters. And I'm like, well, that's not good. You see Jeeps there all the time. You know why? Jeeps are made by Chrysler. Jeeps, people love Jeeps. You got to have money. You got to have Jeep money, because every week you'd be taking it to the shop. There was a woman I used to date. You hear the hate in my voice when I said that? She only drove Jeeps to and from the shop because that's, yeah, she was terrible. She was always drunk driving and rolling her car because she's a terrible person, but she always in the shop. There was always something wrong with her Jeep. And now I stay away from them. That's awesome, Dark Brand. Matthew, Suzuki Swift 4x4. I used to know somebody was driving I don't know what it was, some sort of Suzuki vehicle, and they all always had it in the shop also. Robert, I hear Detroit. I think Ted Nugent. Is Ted Nugent from Detroit? I didn't know that he was even from Michigan until the convoy happened and supposedly Ted Nugent was going to be involved somehow. And everybody told me that he was from Michigan. Diane, Mississippi River does not go through Michigan, just Illinois, Wisconsin, Minneapolis, Iowa, or Minnesota, not Minneapolis, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, LA. Matthew, Toyota Land Cruiser. I don't think I've ever seen one of those. I know Toyota makes pretty good vehicles. I don't know if they're all good. I know a lot of people who have Toyota Corollas, and I know those are like kind of on the cheaper end of vehicles, but they last forever. And my grandpa used to drive Toyota trucks. I don't know if it was always a Tundra. His last one before he died was a 2011 Tundra, and that thing was awesome. But he always had Toyota trucks the whole time I was alive. He just swore by it. Matthew, I want a Ford Raptor with a Hemi. Those things are cool looking. I don't really like Fords, but the Raptors are pretty cool looking. Harley, I'm in Wisconsin. What do you think of Wisconsin? I've never been to Wisconsin, so I don't. All I ever hear is cheeseheads, and I'm sure that has to do with the Packers or whatever. But I don't know anything about Wisconsin. The car ferry goes there. Is it the Badger? Yeah, the one that's in commission is the Badger. The one that's out of commission is the Spartan. But they go from Ludington to, I don't know if they go to Green Bay. They go somewhere in Wisconsin, but that's it. I don't know anything else about Wisconsin. Too Real, do you like NFL? Are you a Detroit Lions fan? No, I don't watch sports. I've never understood sports because would you watch someone bang your girlfriend? No, because you can do that. So why do you watch someone play basketball? Why do you watch somebody play football? Why do you watch people play soccer? That never made sense to me. I would much rather go out there and play the sport than to watch someone play the sport who makes way too much money doing it, especially now when they're taking a knee during the national anthem. I've never understood that. That's like when you watch your kids watching someone else playing video games. I never understood that either. I was like, why do you get all excited? You can play you have that same game. Why are you watching someone else play the game? And they're like, well, I just would rather watch them play it than play it myself. I watch people play the game like Doc because I think Doc is funny, but he's also like, one of the best gamers in the world and stuff. I watch Tim the Tap Man too, and not religiously because they're live while I'm live, but I like watching them because I think they're funny. But when you see kids watching people play the game, the people they're watching are usually not the best of people. They're usually kind of like Mr. Beast or whatever, and Mr. Beast is all right, I guess, but they're usually like wackos, and they say rough things and kind of influence kids to do bad things and stuff like that. And I was always confused by that. Why would you watch that if you could play it yourself? Like, we play the game, but most of the time when people are, in the chat, they don't really care about what's going on in the game. We're all just hanging out, having fun, laughing, talking crap. But to me, it's the same thing. If you hate on your kids for watching people play the game, but you watch sports, you're a hypocrite. And so that's just, that's how I feel. That's my little feelings. Just put my little feelings out there. Yes. Sly Dog, we watch you play. Yeah, but I'm not like Doc and them. I'm not the 2-time champion, blah, 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 blah. We're just having fun. We'd be playing beer pong if I could get away with it. The game's not really about the game. It's just about hanging out. That's why, like, when you see me playing Warzone, I die all the time. That's because I'm not great at it. Matthew, darts on TV. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you have access to darts, then it's kind of the same thing. I didn't really know that they even showed darts on TV. I used to play darts at the American Legion when I was young, 13 or something like that. Dharma Agent, Minecraft Generation, yeah. Dave, Boosted Boys, that Honda life. There's a lot of... Honda has a big following. I've never owned a Honda, but some people are like all about that life. Sam, I only watched Supercross and Motocross. Let's see. Always have, but I grew up racing and riding dirt bikes. Yeah, see, and I feel like that's a little bit different. I don't know. I don't want to divide the chat. I feel like getting a ball and kicking a ball across the yard, or like throwing a ball to another person in your house, is a lot more obtainable than maybe going and getting a dartboard or riding a dirt bike, right? Like, I've watched dirt biking. I've gone to live dirt bike events outside of Niles. There's a place called Redbud, and there's tons of dirt bike stuff that goes on there, big events and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I could ride a dirt bike, and you could say the same thing. Well, why would you watch dirt biking if you could ride a dirt bike? But the thing is I won't ride a dirt bike because I don't want to die doing that, and I absolutely would. That's the same reason I don't ride a motorcycle, is because I would absolutely die if I did that. You're probably not going to die kicking a soccer ball. You're probably not going to die bouncing a basketball. So maybe I'm just heavily biased, but I always just thought that was ridiculous. I mean, I used to watch sports, like watch Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen and stuff. But then after that, nah. Never watched Kobe Bryant, never watched Shaq, never watched LeBron, never watched any of these other guys. And I was too young to watch Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. They weren't playing by the time I understood what sports was. So, I don't know. It is what it is. No, I'm sure everybody's going to be divided now that I did all that. Robert, Ted is known as the Motor City Madman. I did not know that. That's interesting. Let's see. Sam, you've been to Redbud? Or you know what Redbud is? That's like a big deal for people in Niles that do off-road stuff and, you know, dirt bikes and all that. Salty Ragu Redbud? They pay it charges a little extra. It's a little bit more expensive than the Green Buds. Now I gotta Google this word because I don't know what it is. I used to just blurt out or try and sound out all the words you guys would type, and then I realized sometimes they're like inappropriate words. I still don't know what this is. Events that are connected by sympathies rather than strict cause and effect. I guess Dharma Agent. Bagpiper, yeah. Gamer Jeff is to hang out with the hooligans. Yeah, that's why I try to tell people, like, we're not like Doc and all that. Like, I think Doc and all that is great, right? He's great at what he does. He does a good job. He's super entertaining. But that's not what I'm doing when I'm playing the game. I'm not going to sit here and put 9-10 hours in every single day playing the game. I'd get mad. I'd be like slamming my controller and stuff. I can't do that. I just play the game so we can just hang out and we can be live and we can just laugh and not be covering the news and be stressed and upset at our government and upset that we have, you know, a border that's being invaded, and being upset about the human trafficking and the fact that Old Man Walter and all of them are causing it and supporting it. We just play the game to have fun. Witchy 12, I used to love watching extreme sports, watching Carrot Top and Tony Hawk and all those guys. I used to also. The X Games and all that. I used to watch all that stuff. But I also would skateboard and rollerblade at the time too. So I would like watch them for inspiration, and then I would go and try and do the same thing and break my shins and my ankles and all that. I probably couldn't ride a skateboard now. I'm an old man now. I'm a little too old for that. And at Redbud, that was some good smoke. The first time I went to Redbud, I think I've told you guys this before. First time I went to Redbud, there was a pro circuit going on, and there was some minor circuit going on after that. And so I was showing up because my friend was riding dirt bike. We were, I don't know, 12, 13 years old. And I was waiting for him to, hit the ground and stuff. He was waiting to line up, but they had to wait for this pro circuit to get done. And they were at the very end, and this guy hits this tabletop, and that's where the finish line is. And I think he was getting first place. So he hit it real hard. And when he landed, he straightened his arms out too much and then broke his arms. Both of them broke them inward and slapped his face off of the handlebars and just collapsed on the ground right in front of me. And I was like, oh my God. And, then all the other bikes are flying over and landing on his body and all this stuff, and they're shutting it all down. And he obviously went away with the EMTs and stuff, 2 broken arms. I was like, wow, this is what you guys do when you're dirt biking. That was my first experience seeing dirt biking. So I was like, wow, that's really something. Very first experience there. And then my friend ended up getting first place in the minor circuit that he was in. That was years ago, but yeah. So dirt biking's fun. That was the very first experience of dirt bike. I've never even seen anyone ride a dirt bike before. Got there, you're hearing them rev the engines and flying through the air and stuff, and it was like, wow, this is like being at the circus. And then it was like, pooh, hit the ground. I was like, oh man, it was like red mist everywhere. It was like, oh, you guys do that every time, or is that I'm just because I'm here flattered? Like, I don't know. It was rough stuff. It's hydrodynamic, something like that. What's up, Lion's Heart? Happy freedom. Sam, straight carnage, get the meat wagon. Yeah, they just carried him away. I think he was unconscious. Like, I mean, he didn't die, but he was not moving a whole lot. He was roughed up. Dave, did you hear about the Afghan terrorist at the border? I did. And that's the one they caught. So think about all the ones that they didn't catch on their way in. Firmus, I got real good at darts back in the day. I used to be all right at darts. I don't know if I'd be good at it now. I got bad eyes from sitting here in front of the screen for so much. I don't even know what I'm saying. For sitting in front of the screen for so long, so many nights in a row. What's up, Chesh? I need to figure out how to generate some new emojis so I can start uploading them to all these different sites, because now we can have our own emojis over on Rumble, and I don't have anything there yet. It used to be very difficult to make emojis because they're so... It's not difficult to make the image, it's difficult to make the image meet all the requirements for all the different platforms that have all these different requirements. But I would like to have some new stuff. Blazing Fool, didn't Subaru make the Brat as well? I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Subaru. Yeah. Weird. I've never seen this before. Hold on, we're gonna figure this out. This button. So this is the Subaru Brat. I've never seen one of these before. It kind of looks like the Baja. It's kind of a neat little thing. I wonder if it's got the boxer engine in it, like most of the other Subarus. It's a neat looking thing. Originally introduced in 1977. I was just a young lad back then. Not existed. I wasn't even here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Seats in the rear bed. Weird. I've never seen one of those. I didn't even know that was a thing. Chesh, my daughter is good at emotes. I don't know how she does it. Yeah. Kids are just, they got time on their hands. And so they got the time to learn how to do stuff and mess with apps and all that. Jeb, I used to have a little Mitsubishi pickup years ago. I feel like I used to see those a lot, and I don't so much anymore. So we're going to go ahead and play this next video. It's titled, I Call BS. Lisa McClain slams new EV plant as a blatant attempt by the CCP to take over Michigan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Hold up. I'm not ready yet, lady.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand here today in strong opposition to the Chinese Communist Party's takeover of a town in my home state of Michigan. The CCP is using one of their state-controlled companies to implant thousands of Chinese workers and billions worth of Chinese technology just outside of Big Rapids. The company is called Goshen, and their technology is EV batteries. Now, Goshen likes to say that this is a good thing for Michigan and maybe even a good thing for America. Why? Because they claim it brings jobs and money to our economy. But let's not forget the over $500 million worth of taxpayer dollars that will be used to subsidize and build this facility. And that's quite frankly why I call BS. Goshen is bought and paid for by the CCP, and let's be clear, the CCP is not our friend. So I'm not standing idly by and going to let this happen. I'm going to stand with the people of the great state of Michigan and call this out and continue to bring attention to this and do something about this. And that's why I'm here today to call out the CCP for this blatant attempt to overtake our state. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I yield back.
CCP is coming to Michigan. As much as people are trying to resist it. Oh, Gretch. Oh, Gretch, she's going to let them come in. She's going to let them take turns on her too while her husband watches because she's a terrible person. Saudi Ragu, good luck. Yeah. And that's not that far from me. So if that stuff comes to fruition, then I'll probably try and go out there and get some footage. I mean, it probably won't be that, much to look at, but just to go see, because I want to say they're only like 2 or 3 hours from me where they're trying to build that battery plant. Yeah, Lion's hurt. I know that stuff is no good. Kobe says, "You down with CCP? Yeah, you know me. Look at you guys, Eric." That's a good one. I love you, Hooligans. You guys are so good. Golden. I love it. Too Real looks like the nephew of the El Camino. Yeah, that Subaru Brad. I want to know more about it. How come they don't have that in racing games? I think it's neat. It's a neat little thing. What's up, Crystal Blue? Happy Freedom. Lion's Heart. My dad had an El Camino that he raced. That's awesome. You can put big, awesome engines in those El Caminos. Kevin, when's Kickakami Day? Oh man, we're gonna have to put it on the calendar. It'll be difficult though, because we got so many holidays now, and every month is supporting someone or other. Hydrodynamic, yeah, they did. Yeah, that was a big deal here. That was on the news every day. The kidnapping attempt or whatever of the governor, and then they were all feds. And they said they seized their Facebook messages. When you talk through Messenger, that stuff is not encrypted, and it's not exclusively to you. Even WhatsApp. WhatsApp is owned by Facebook. And Elon Musk just posted the other day, don't trust WhatsApp. It's like a false encrypted messaging system where Facebook has the ability to go through your messages. Hair Juicer. Person on My Name is Earl had a brat. That's what somebody else set up in the chat. I caught while the video was playing. Yeah, Eric, I wouldn't do this if you guys weren't here. I just like to hang out with you guys. I only show the news to get you in the door. That's how I sell it. I sell it to you. I just tell you guys, hey, we're gonna cover the news, and people show up, and then I just sit here and talk to all of you because I just like hanging out with all of you. Yeah, see, Bravo. I don't know how bad it's gonna be, but I know if the CCP is trying to bring that factory here, I know it's no good. You guys cracked me up. Raja had a work call. Hopefully it was good. Just reading through the chat here. Light rain, little 4x4 Subarus are great in the woods. Yeah, I like that my car is 4-wheel drive because it's easier to deal with the snow, but it doesn't take as much gas as having a truck, and the parts aren't as expensive. I had a Chevy Trailblazer. I don't know, the big one with the 3 rows of seats or whatever, and everything on it was so expensive to fix all the time, and I hated that. I liked the car because it had the rear windows would like open this way in the back, and I had buttons, so I'd like get in the car and I'd hit the button in the back end windows would do this, and then roll down the front windows, and when you drive it pulls all the heat out of the car. I used to love that. I had heated seats, leather seats, which leather seats are okay until they're okay unless you got extreme weather, and I know women know this more than men. If it's really hot or it's really cold, those seats are rough. And I would get in the car and have passengers and stuff, and they'd be like, my lips are freezing, and I'm like, you want chapstick? They're like, no, it's your leather seats. And I was like, oh. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, can't do anything about that. Rub them together and start a fire. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. It's rough. Let's see. Eric, trucks are insane maintenance. It's just the parts cost too much. They cost too much for me. If you make good money, it's probably not a big deal for you, but you know, for me, it's just I can't afford that. I can't afford to pay for truck parts. Snooks, I have leather seats. I have no issues here in Florida. Is your car a light color? Kobe says, I love those old school triangle swivel windows. I forgot about those. I used to do that in my grandpa's truck. He used to hate that. I'd be in the passenger seat and I'd be twisting the little thing and crack open the little window, and we'd be going on the freeway. I was making all this noise. My grandpa was like, hey, you just cut that out. You fix my window before I fix your face. And I'm like, all right. Just, I'm hot. It's like winter time. It's like, I'm hot. I just want the window open. He's like, giving me that look. You close that damn window right now, boy. Let's see. Too real. I used to love my Chevy Avalanche. The thing was a tank with lazy boy seats in it. I've heard a lot of people say that they like those Avalanches. I haven't seen an Avalanche in a while, though. Hydrodynamic, yeah, I agree. I don't know if the CCP will be banned from American manufacturing, though. Snooks, yes, the car is light colored, but the seats are blacked out. As long as you don't park it in the sun. It's rough when you're in the sun. Even my steering wheel used to get really hot, and I used to hate that. Grab that leather steering wheel and just burn my hands right off. Firmus, my truck has heated and cooled leather seats. What is that? I've never heard of cooled seats. I know in like the old trucks they used to have that air blower underneath the steering wheel. They'd call it the ball warmer. I don't think they make that anymore. What's up? What is it? Bob Ross? Is that what it is? I was gonna say Bob Ross. Happy Freedom. Thanks for joining us. You guys got me on that Subaru Brat. I want to know more about it. Serum, where's Jordan wanting to know why you aren't covering the riots and experiencing women more? He showed up on the live. He's probably here right now. He showed up on the live yesterday at the very end of the live for Coffee with Hooligans, but he didn't show up for the gaming, and that's what I was really expecting. Too real. They even have heated and cooled steering wheels now. Really? I didn't know that. That makes sense. I didn't know that was a thing. Hydrodynamic, you wearing a leather Speedo under there? You like the leather. No. These nuggets gotta be free. These are American nuggets. I gotta let them be free. Gotta let them be free. I almost need to carry like a fanny pack just to store these nuggets. These are American nuggets. How do they cool the seats? What do they do? Has it got like liquid cooling or something? I'm like trying to wrap my brain around it. I'm doing alright, Bob Ross. How are you? Mr. Beansy Beans killing me with the emojis. Gonna crack me up. Snooks, what are you saying over on Rumble? Snooks goes wild on Rumble. If you guys aren't on Rumble, you should check that out. This next video is titled Mike Rowe. This has unleashed a storm of unintended consequences. Now, I think he's actually trying to sell his book, but he's not really wrong in this video. He talks about taking shop out of class, or out of school, and kind of how this is, well, that was like, to him, that was the first step of school making kids soft and stupid, basically, and how manipulation has really backfired to how like our society functions and stuff like that. Hydrodynamic, how do you cool a steering wheel? The same way you squeeze it in, you spit on it. Anyways, let's get this started.
Experts warn some white-collar jobs are vanishing by the thousands, and they may never come back. Inflation and rising interest rates are forcing companies to cut their back-office workforce. Mike Rowe, CEO of the MicroWorks Foundation, an all-around great guy, is here with this. This is not a surprise to you, but just to give people a little context, the jobs that would be in the most demand in the next 10 years, we can put them up on the screen here: home health, personal care, restaurant cooks, software developers, fast food and operations managers. Then if you look at Labor Department projections, if you look at the top 10, several of these jobs, like, for example, driver and engineers, they're the kind of people that you have been trying to help reach and also train through your foundation.
This thing's got a long tail, you know? I mean, 40 years ago, from my point of view, it started when we took shop class out of high school. And when we did that, we really just unleashed a storm of unintended consequences. Around the same time, we started telling kids that the best path for the most people was a 4-year degree. Not just a good path, but a path that if you didn't take, you're going to wind up with some sort of vocational consolation prize. That steady drumbeat, after 40 years, that's what we're seeing right now. We've got over 11 million open positions, most of which don't require a 4-year degree. We got $1.7 trillion in student debt on the books. We're lending money to kids who will never be able to pay it back to train them for a lot of jobs that no longer exist. And we still just have our thumb on the scale. We're still saying these jobs are good, these jobs are bad. I've been hearing for years that robots are going to wreck blue-collar work. Turns out AI is coming for your white-collar job.
Yeah.
It's all backwards. Yeah. And it's a heck of a thing to unpack.
So interesting. I just look at home health care and personal care. I think about we're living longer, right? I think about registered nurses. These are areas that are only going to grow
it's
in
huge.
Greater demand for.
Well, we were just saying in the break, Rwanda has this very, very young population with a whole different set of problems. Our population is getting older and older and older. I don't think you need to be an economist or a rocket scientist to see that there's going to be incredible opportunity in that area. But that's not a 4-year degree world. It's a 6-figure job that just requires a different way of thinking.
Let's talk about Elon Musk. Go ahead,
Yeah, but I'll play a little bit for you because he got asked about working from home. He thinks working from home is morally wrong. And he said this. Listen to him here.
The laptop class is living in La La Land, okay? As I said, you can't, but look at the cars. Are people working from home here? Of course not. How is that? It's not just a productivity thing. I think it's morally wrong.
And you can't build cars from home.
No, you can't. I just read this book. You would love it. It's called The Comfort Crisis.
Oh, I bought it because you told me to.
You're welcome.
Circle gets a square.
But, I don't know about morally right or wrong, and I don't know that it's always wise to paint with too broad a brush, because there really is a La La Land. He's referring to it as a fictitious place, but it's a real place. And there are plenty of people, I think, who can be productive working from home. But by and large, if you're doing the thing you're doing because it makes you comfortable, you're probably taking some kind of shortcut. And shortcuts lead to long delays. We know that. It was my earlier point. These things take a long time to matriculate. There's going to be a lot of unintended consequences for not going into the office, from socialization just to basic collaboration. You lose so much when you're home alone staring at your screen, no matter how effective you are.
58% of companies allow their employees to work a portion of the week from home. The number of companies that require employees to be in the office has gone down to 42% from 49% 3 months ago. I think that whole phrase, the laptop class,
right.
I mean, you get the image, right? You're sitting in a Starbucks or a local coffee shop, and that's where you spend 7 to 8 hours of your day.
The screen is a heck of a thing. Nick Eberstadt says that he writes a lot about the 7.2 million men who are currently not in the workforce. Not just why they're not in the workforce, but what are they doing? And he estimates that over 2,000 hours per year per individual is spent on the screen. This screen, a Netflix screen, your phone, whatever it is. There's a lot of scrolling going on. But look, again, the laptop class sounds great. It's an easy target. I know some people in that class who are actually thriving. So we got to be careful with the broad proclamations. But by and large, I think when you look at the percentages that you just quoted, to me, it's like an electrocardiogram. Right now, it's here, then it's going to be here, then it's going to be here. And we're right in the middle of it. And it all just seems crazy and random, like we're Forrest Gumping our way through some sort of economic indicator. Years from now, we're going to look back and go, oh, well, that was obvious, wasn't it?
Right?
Well, you're going to be on the Big Money show today, talking with our friends Taylor and Brian and Jacqui.
We're having a town hall.
Oh, is that right? You're going to talk? Oh, it's a town hall.
We're going to solve the problems of the world.
Take on the laptop class.
You bet.
It's great to see you.
Yeah,
too.
really good to see you.
Out, Michael. Okay?
Always welcome, and thanks for coming back even after the hearing.
Talk to you again, okay?
Sure, you bet.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube.
I didn't realize that was the Dirty Jobs guy until you guys said it in the chat. He just seemed like he knew what he was talking about, and then I listened to the whole video, and even though it was a few minutes long, let's see, almost 6 minutes long, I seemed interested the whole time, so I was like, yeah, we should definitely cover that. Yeah, I've never seen the Dirty Jobs show. I know what it is, and I've seen clips, but I've never seen it all in one shot. But I thought it was interesting the things he was talking about. A lot of people think that society went downhill when they took God out of schools, because in order to love God or any religion, it involves discipline. And that's kind of our big issue in America right now, is people are not disciplined. That's why they're worried about their feelings and stuff, is because instead of doing what you need to do, you're busy worrying how you can get out of doing what you need to do. What can you say? What can you think? What can you feel? How can you behave so you don't have to do what you need to do? And I see all of that. Like he's saying, no shop class and all that stuff. When I was in school, we had shop. I was the very last class to have auto shop in the high school in Ludington. And that's gone now. Auto shop is gone. I think they took Woods class out. There used to be welding. That's gone. Someone in the chat, I think it was Gary, said he had an electric class. I didn't even know that was a thing. But they should have that stuff, because those are skills that we're going to need forever. Plumbing, any trade is something that our country is going to need. And we should have that in class, because you need to experience as much as possible when you're young and capable. That way you can find things that you're good at, so you're not 20, 30 years old and being like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't even know what I like. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And that's what I think when I used to work in restaurants and fast food, and I would see someone that's like 70, 80 years old getting hired in. They can't work the register. They can't work the touch screens. They don't know how to do anything. And I'm like, how did that happen? How did you get here at this age? When I'm your age, I want to be retired or a millionaire or both. I don't want to be starting off at Wendy's. Like, I don't want that. And I feel like it's because they didn't experience it enough as a kid, and they didn't find that thing that they like to do. Some people love working on cars. Some people love doing electrical work and stuff like that. And you don't know until you try. You don't know. So, I don't know. We got a lot of softies. We got a lot of people who are victims, and they're just worried about how to wiggle their way out of things they don't feel like doing. And it goes all the way up. It goes from having a job to getting your own place to live to being accountable when you break the law and it's time to go to jail. It's just, how can you weasel your way out of it? And we need to get away from that. We need discipline. We need discipline. You can't spank your kids. Kids feel there's no consequences. It's time to learn shit at school. They don't want to learn it. They want to just breeze through it and stuff. Then they get older, they have to get a job. They don't want a job. They don't want to clock in. They need mental days. It's like soft all the way up to the military. Like they're showing the woke military all the time now. Navy advertisement and stuff with people who are super flamboyant. That stuff is not going to work. It's not going to work. We're going to get too frail, and we're going to wear ourselves too thin. And eventually the people who are keeping us together, keeping things glued together, carpenters and plumbers and construction workers and all this stuff, they will eventually be too old to do the job. And they'll have to, retire or whatever, leave the workforce. And the younger generation won't be able to fill the spot because they're too worried about their feelings. They have no discipline. They don't understand. Even when they need stuff, they don't even know how to obtain it. They're just like, someone give it to me. Give it to me. No, you need to earn it. You need to work for it. You need to suffer a little bit to understand why you got to be disciplined. So when it's time to do those hard choices and get up for work when you don't want to, you have to, because you don't want to go back to suffering. And as long as people are enabled, they'll continue to be soft. And soft and stupid isn't doing anyone any favors. That's a t-shirt right there. Too real, softer than baby's poo. I'm saying it's no good. I mean, I don't want to live in a world full of assholes, but at least assholes are funny. You work in enough factories, you'll notice that. You'll see a bunch of people who look like they ain't never smiled a day in their life, but they're hilarious during the lunch breaks. I don't know. Matthew, total society collapse. That's where we're heading that way. We are heading that way. Tina, we just had plenty of people cross the border for those jobs. It was planned. Yep. I was just talking about that at the beginning of the live. All the blue team saying, well, we need people to do manual labor for near no pay. That's why we just let everybody cross. It's not good. It's not good. It's modern day slavery happening. It's happening right in front of us. We're worried about the resources and stuff. We're worrying about it for practical reasons, but we don't see the plan of the blue team, not until that was put out there in the front. I've seen a video earlier today exposing that. That's what blue team wants. They want to go back to prior to the Civil War. And it's not good. It is not good. Let's see. Chosen one, if you want 100% of your Social Security, you have to work until the grave. Yeah, they told me from like 5th grade up. They're like, don't plan on collecting Social Security. It will be gone by the time you're 62. So it's like, be a millionaire or be broke. That's my retirement plan. Working on it. It's a work in progress. What's up, Eric? Could you imagine if that's how Salty Cracker started the live, if he just showed up and said that? That would be something. Let's see. Jeremiah, earn the day. Absolutely. Chosen one. Some people take more effort staying out of work than it would take to work, and then think about welfare. I think about that all the time. When I was 17 and I was homeless and I was working, but I couldn't get an apartment because I wasn't old enough to sign a lease. And I really hated that. I was in a tough situation. I was old enough to do most things except for things I needed. Couldn't open a bank account. I couldn't get an apartment. I was working and I had money. I couldn't get a car and all this stuff. I was having all this trouble because I wasn't 18. And I remember trying to get some help. I was trying to get rental assistance to see if they could get me the apartment, and then I would just pay the rent. Food assistance, stuff like that. And they were like, well, one, you're a man. So if you're not disabled, and being disabled means you are an alcoholic or a drug addict. I mean, unless you have an actual disability. Because they were looking at me and they were like, well, do you do drugs? And I was like, no. And they were like, do you have an alcohol problem? And I was like, no. They're like, are you disabled? And I was like, no. They're like, well, you don't qualify for disability. Okay. And they were like, you can't get food stamps. You can't get rental assistance. You can't get any of that stuff. And that was after I filled out like 60 pages of nonsense, forfeiting all my information. They were just like, yeah, you don't qualify for all this stuff. You just need to go to work. That's what you need to do. And I was like, okay, I guess, but that doesn't help me have a place to live. That doesn't help me have any of this stuff. And I had to fill out all that paperwork. And I was like, why did I even do all that? And now as an adult, well, an older adult, I think back at all that paperwork and I'm like, it's so much easier just to go to work. It's so much easier to just go to work. Just get up, go to work, do your 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, have money, buy things with the money. Don't let anybody mess your nice stuff up that you bought because you earned it. You put in everything you had to earn it. This belongs to you now. And then I'll have friends and stuff. They're like, yeah, I got, welfare and da-da-da-da-da. And they don't need it. They could go to work. And they're like, yeah, look, I get like $600 a week for food stamps. It's awesome, blah, blah. You didn't earn it, though. This is not yours. And then I hear them, every 3 months, 6 months. Oh, I got to fill out all this paperwork for DHS so I can get my food stamps. Go to work. It's so much easier. It's so much easier. Dealing with welfare and signing your life away makes no sense to me. And a lot of people don't realize how much of their future they're signing away. When you sign up for welfare, if you ever hit the lottery or you ever come into money, they will take it from you. You sign up for welfare, that's what you're agreeing to, is that if you ever come into money, they're going to come for it. And it's like, I don't know, it's just not worth it. Copious Hayes, same thing with the veterans at the VA. Play the game or they won't help you. Yeah, it's messed up. And it's I mean, I don't know about the VA. I'm not a veteran, but the people you see scamming the system, and I'm not hating on welfare or disability. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. There's a need for it for people who need it. But the people you see that are just playing the system and stuff, and they're just, I don't want to go to work. I want free food stamps. And no. It's messed up. It's not worth it. And they would know that if they actually went and got off their ass and, earned something in their life. But a lot of people, it's a generational curse. Their parents were on welfare. Their parents' were on welfare. They're on welfare. And when you ask them, why are you on welfare? Well, what do you mean? My dad was on welfare. So that means you got to have it too? That's what it means? It's that poor mindset. Same reason a lot of people don't leave the ghetto. They live in the ghetto and it's like, dude, you got a good job. Why don't you move away? And they're like, what do you mean? My whole family lives here. I don't mean you got to live here. You like your car being broken into? You like fixing windows on your vehicle? You like coming home and seeing your front doors kicked in? You like people breaking through your windows and stealing your Xbox and stuff? You like that stuff? Because I didn't like it when I lived there. When I used to live in the ghetto, I hated that. We had somebody steal our lawnmower out of the shed and come back the next week and ask us if he could mow the grass for $20 with our lawnmower. Showed up like, hey, I'll mow your grass for $20. No, you won't. I mean, some things happened and we got our lawnmower back and he was rough when he left. But crackheads will do that. And it's like, it's a generational curse. They're just trapped by that poor mindset that's been handed down to them by the people who raised them. And I really hate that. I really hate that. And I hate the way the world is right now, because people see me and they're like, well, you and your privilege and all this. You have no idea the suffering I've gone through. Like, no idea. Nothing I have was just handed to me. Nothing was just given to me. Like, I had to go and get it. And I don't have a lot. I don't have really nice things or anything like that. But what I have is mine. And I earned it. And I worked for it. And it's like, I don't understand the whole gimme, 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 poor me, poor me. How can you live like that? How do you exist like that? How do you not, like, cry when you look in the mirror and just be like, wow, I'm a worthless, pathetic creature existing and being a burden to everyone, you know, that has to experience their existence? How do you do that? How do you look at yourself in the mirror? I don't understand. I know people who work their ass off and still need help, and they cry every day about it, like for real cry, because they feel bad that they need the help. And I've been in that position. I've been starving. I've had food kitchens and stuff donate food to me because they heard I was hurting really bad, and I couldn't help but cry. I don't want to need help. I want to earn everything I have. But then you turn around and see those people who are celebrating because they got food stamps because they're working over the welfare system. Disgusting. Disgusting. People should be ashamed of themselves. But it goes back to that discipline. People need discipline, or they end up being Antifa, or they end up being all those shape-shifting predators and stuff. We need discipline. And it all starts with pouring into our kids. Invest in your children. Invest in their education. Invest in them having some common sense. Don't let your kids grow up being raised by TikTok, because they'll end up being flamboyant Antifa. Nobody needs those problems. Let's see. Eagle. Work makes you respect the system. Work teaches you moral ethics. Yeah, it's true. NC, proud dad or reparations. Yeah. Waiting for a handout. I just don't understand it. I see a lot of people using scratch off tickets. And I mean, that's, you know, it's fine. It's your money. You want to gamble your money. That's fine. But there's a lot of people, I can't tell you, I've been in the gas station. You see people, they got 2 tall boys on the counter and they're ordering 15 scratch off tickets. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? They're like, yeah, let me get 15 of these $20 tickets, just hoping they hit it big. It's like, that's not an investment. That's not an investment at all. I used to deliver pizza to people like that, living in hotels, trying to win big off scratch-off tickets. I'm just like, just work. Just go to work. Earn money. And if you don't want to work for anybody because they suck, start your own business. It really doesn't require a whole lot. Make peanut butter and jelly. Put a sign up. Sell some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You sell enough of them, you could get a business front. You get a business front, now you can sell more than peanut butter and jelly. You might be able to add some lemonade to it. It really doesn't take a whole lot, but it takes discipline. Well, like you're saying too, Real, it takes discipline and knowledge. We have more knowledge than we know what to do with. Anybody that's got one of these has all the knowledge in the world. You just got to take the time to go find it, read it. Watching it is okay, but if you read it, the majority of information is in text. You got to read it. Doesn't take a whole lot. Proud dad, teach your kids to cook. Yeah, for real. For real. Because if you cook food, there's a better chance that you're actually eating food. All that processed stuff and fast food and all of that shortens your lifespan. I'm surprised we don't have like weird deformities and stuff, like an arm growing out of your chest from McDonald's burgers. Proud dad, some ham and cheese. It'll go a long way. I almost want to try and do it just to prove it to people that you could, it really doesn't take a whole lot. There's some kids up the street here that run a lemonade stand in the summertime, and I try and go buy lemonade from them all the time because their parents like pay taxes on it. The money that comes in from the lemonade stand is all done on QuickBooks, and they set money aside to pay taxes at the end of the year so they can teach their kids how business is done. And I'm like, that's fantastic. I'll go over there and tip them $50 and stuff if I can afford it. I always throw them an extra something because that is awesome. Pour into your kids so when they're adults they actually have a brain in their skull. All that freeloading just kills me. Kills me. Mark, some of those guys make a lot of money from scratch tickets. It's true. You can win money from it, and it's fine if you got the money to spend. But I've delivered pizza when I used to be a pizza driver to some people who were living where the smell was complex when they would open the door of their hotel room, and they're just barely making it, and it's because they've lost everything. They don't have anything, and they're trying to get some scratch offs to, hit it big. And it's a lot of people, they're just addicted to gambling, and that's unfortunate. And I mean, you're fine to do whatever you want. You're free and you got money, you go ahead and do it. But the people I'm talking about, they're addicted to scratch off tickets, and they're like losing everything trying to play that game, trying to hit that, hit it big. It's like, it's a scam. That stuff is a scam. Those lottery tickets and stuff, that is a scam. I mean, people do it. I've seen rappers do it. Rappers go and buy the whole roll. They're like, just give me the whole roll. But they don't ever make their money back. They never get their money back. It's very rare to spend that money and get that money back. Hydrodynamic complex. I'm saying, Edward tags me and stuff all the time on Twitter. Just crazy videos. And he's like, the smell is complex. I love that. I love that. It's something that just resonates with me. Let's see. Gary, facts matter. Fast food chicken is barely chicken. 60%, if that. It's probably soy. That's like if you get those Tyson chicken strips, like the breaded chicken strips you can get at Walmart or whatever. I was getting those for a little bit, but after a while it was making my stomach hurt. And I realized that it's not just breading. There's like a little bit of chicken in the middle, and then it's wrapped in soy, and then it's kind of breaded, and then you cook it, and you're like, why does my chicken not taste like chicken? It's because the majority of it's breading, and the rest of it's soy, and then there's like 10% of it's actually chicken. It's no good. Stomach cancer in a bag. Raja, there's a homeless man that begs all day, turns down food, but asks for $5. Yeah, that's a tough one. Some people are homeless and really need help, and some people are homeless and they just want to do drugs and drink beer. Copious Hayes, my first car cost $600. It was an 81 T-Bird. It's not bad. My first car was a Plymouth Neon, and I bought it from WMM for like $400. I don't know how. I think I was 18 or something like that, and I needed a car to go from washing dishes and cooking food at a pizza place. I wanted to be a driver because you made more money, and so I bought that car off of them. Saved up my checks, and I was not making a whole lot. I don't think you could buy a car for $400 nowadays. Even cars that don't run here in Michigan are $2,000. If you want a car just to say you own a car, it doesn't run, you're not going to take it anywhere. Probably can't afford to fix it. $2K. You're going to spend $2,000 for that. Hydrodynamic, why do they have to sell chicken nuggets? I didn't even know chickens had nuggets. Could you imagine? The little chickens running around, they had nuggets hanging off of them. That would be something. That would be something. Yeah, chicken nuggets are like pork. It's like, it's not even chicken. Yeah, Mr. Beansy Beans, you're right. You're right. Those people that are running the system, they ruin it for everybody. Because a lot of people they just look past the fact that there's people out there that actually need help. And that's what the system is there for. But there's so many people that abuse it that anytime you hear of anybody that's on disability or they need food assistance or anything, that you just have this lower opinion of them. The public does. And it's because so many people play the system that they don't even see the people that actually need the help. It's rough stuff. I've lived in poor areas. I've been poor my whole life pretty much. But I've had a lot of friends and stuff that actually need help, and they don't even want to ask for help because the stigma that comes with it and the way that society will look down on you, and it's messed up. It's messed up. Eagle, gotta have meat grain. I seen yesterday, and I wish I could find that video because I would show you guys. They're 3D printing meat right now. There's a restaurant somewhere that serves fish, but the fish is 3D printed, and the way they 3D print it is they somehow use biological something from fish, something that they grow, and then they put it through a 3D printer and print fish patties. And they say you can't tell that it's not an actual fish, and it's genetically made up as if it was a fish, but it's not. It was done in a lab somewhere. And they're talking about how in 30 years we will not be able to sustain protein for as many people that exist in the world. And so they're going to try and 3D print meat soon, because in 30 years we're going to be fighting for food. We're going to be killing each other for food. And so I don't know. Eagle, it's crazy 3D printed meat. Let me see if I can find it. See, I don't have browser history or anything like that, so I don't know that I'll find it, but I'll see, because it was wild. Oh, let me see if I can find it. I want to say the video wasn't that old. I think it's this. Now, apparently it's got music in it, so I don't know. This is all unplanned. I'm just winging it, but we'll see what we can get out of this video.
Forget your hook, line, and sinker.
We've started to 3D print fish products.
An Israeli food tech company says it has 3D printed the first ever ready-to-cook fish fillet using animal cells cultivated and grown in a laboratory.
It's really tasty.
Israel's stakeholder Foods has partnered with Singapore-based Umami Meats to make fish fillets. How does it work? Umami Meats first extracts cells, for now from grouper, and grows them into muscle and fat. Stakeholder Foods then adds them to a, quote, bio-ink suited for special 3D printers. The result? A narrow fillet that mimics the properties of sea-caught fish. Arik Kaufman is the chief executive of Stakeholder Foods.
The flakiness is something that is much more easier to mimic. And with our patent-protected printing capabilities, we know to 3D print exactly the same texture and flakiness of a real fish. I can say that here the process is clean, it's transparent, the end product is antibiotics free, and I assume that in the future we will understand the health benefits of these cultivated meat products.
Umami hopes to bring its first products to the market in 2024, starting in Singapore and then in countries like the United States and Japan. Megumi Abigail Yoshitomi is the representative director of Japan Association for Cellular Agriculture.
Almost the same experience of the fish structure in my mouth, and I'm also really amazed by the juiciness and also the kind of a buttery feel in my mouth.
Lab-grown beef and chicken have been drawing attention as a
giving me chills.
Environmental toll of farming and tackle concerns over animal welfare. But few companies have forayed into seafood, and while the process of creating lab-grown fish is simpler than with beef, there are still some disadvantages. For one, cow stem cells have been studied extensively, but much less is known about fish, says Umami's chief executive, Mihir Pershad.
We've managed to do it for grouper and for eel. We have 3 other species in our pipeline that are also endangered sort of species that we'll be coming out with publicly in the next few months.
Meeting the price of fish from the sea is another key challenge.
We want consumers to choose based on how it tastes and what it can do for the world and for the planetary environment. And we want to take cost off the table as a consideration.
Gross. That wasn't the video that I watched, but it was, I mean, it was the same exact, not exact, it was the same content, same people, same company. Somebody else had interviewed them though. But I mean, that's what I was talking about. Gross. That was so hard to watch. That was so hard to watch. It's just, the one that I watched didn't have the woman describing what it was like to consume that. Nuggets are real tight right now just thinking about it. It's not good. It's not good. I don't want any part of that. And the video that I had watched was talking about how in 30 years we won't have enough protein for all the people on the planet. That's what they're going to do. They're going to 3D print food or whatever it is. False meat. T-Law, and she liked to analyze with her mouth. Yuck. Yeah, that was... it was no good. It was no good. I just... it makes me shiver. Disgusting. Proud Dad, Spam. I think Spam is probably healthier than that. Let's see. I also heard they got bug burgers for sale now. They're called something else, but they're bug burgers. I've seen that also. Hydrodynamic. Does it even smell like fish? It probably smells terrible. It probably smells like plastic. Mark, I don't like fish anyways. I'm the same. They're going to try and create steaks and stuff like that too, though. They're trying to create beef-like substance, 3D printed as well. Gross. It's just, ugh. Proud Dad, go back and watch the lady in the flower dress. She doesn't even take a real bite. I think she does at the end, because that's who they're showing at the end, and she's got a bite missing from her. They probably forced her to do it. They're like, listen, you signed up for this. You will take a bite, and you will consume it. Okay, Daniel's over here wrecking my stuff. It's gross. Kobe says they add the fish scent to it. Yeah. I'm not going to add on to that. We'll just let that be what it is. Yeah, the next time I go to Walmart, I'll see if I can find those bug burgers. I think they're where the tofu is. Like at the... I mean, every Walmart's a little different, but in Ludington, it's the very last cooler. Because I go and get riced vegetables out of that cooler. But right next to it's like tofu and soy and all that stuff. And I think the bug burgers are supposed to be in that cooler. I don't know if they're at Walmart. I just know that they're for sale. I'm not going to try one, but I wanted to take a picture of it and post it in Gilded and stuff for all of you hooligans. And then on the website. I don't know. I don't want no bug burgers. I don't want to eat bugs. I don't want 3D printed meat. That's just super weird. Super weird. Everybody saying, I will not eat the bugs. Let's see. Everyone on all platforms is saying that. It's another CIA thing. Everyone's saying the exact same phrase, kind of like pure blood. And it's like, where'd that come from? People don't know. They just repeat it because it fits. I think it's a CIA thing. Now it makes you trackable across all social media platforms so they can put you in a category. I don't know. I pay attention to all that stuff. This very next video is titled Jerry Nadler discusses threat of AI to music composers. This video is a little lengthy. But people are freaking out because they don't know what to do because now AI can generate movies and images and music. And so all these people are like, what do we do now? What are we supposed to do? All right, here we go.
Chairman of the full committee, Mr. Nadler.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Irwin, according to reports, OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, is valued at $29 billion. And Stability AI, the company behind Stable Diffusion, was valued at around $1 billion late last year. By way of comparison, can you give us an idea of how much the average composer's salary would be?
It's very difficult to say because the way first of all, we're not governed by any kind of collective bargaining. We're not a union or anything like that, so we're very much independent contractors. It's easier to talk about ranges for television shows, an hour of television, a feature film. Those sort of budgets are easier to quantify, and then of course it comes into the experience of whether you're an entry-level person or a very experienced high-level person, all of those change the rates. And then, of course, on the back end, where we get our royalty streams, which where a lot of us make our money, the performing royalties that are collected by the societies like ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC, they are dependent completely on the number of performances of those works that include your music. And that's the same for audiovisual and for streaming and everything. So it's very hard to say. You know, some years it's almost like a farmer. Some years you have a bumper crop. Next year you mightn't see much at all.
I see. And Mr. Sedlick, what about the average photographer? Same. What about the average photographer?
Salary.
The average salary. Use your mic.
I don't have statistics on that, Representative Nadler. However, many photographers make as little as $20,000 to $40,000 a year, and amounts greater than that outside of certain spaces can be unusual.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Irwin, can you talk a little more about what threats generative AI poses to composers and songwriters? What actions do you think we should take to ensure that your work in artistry is protected? Actually, you've talked about the threats. Can you talk?
Yeah, I can talk. Do you want to talk about the threat or you want to talk about the solution?
I think you've talked about the threats.
Yeah, some of what's in my written testimony. One of the things that the music industry has done particularly well in this area is collective licensing. And they have, as I just mentioned, for ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, they have a way to monitor performances for mechanical royalties, which are the physical royalties, that you have sound exchange, and then there are streaming royalties as well through the Music Licensing Collective. And there are reciprocal organizations set up all over the world. So,
how would we apply that to open?
Well, I think you know, music is probably more easily applied to music than it possibly is to some of these other art forms, because every piece of music that's registered has a registration number, a work number, a recording number. Every artist has their own number. I have what's called an IPI number. Dan has one. So they're already in the system. You don't need to reinvent them. You just need to make sure that they are attributed to those works as they're being used or you know, logged, or however you want to.
How do you determine what works are used in generative AI?
Well, that's I think something that will need to be determined. I mean, I write music. I'm not a technologist.
Maybe Professor Callison Birch. Transparency in AI training models is a concern, but transparency to the end user that the media they are viewing was AI created is critical as well. I see that in your testimony you note that parts of it were composed using ChatGPT. Should some sort of disclosure like that be required? And currently, how are individuals alerted to the fact that they're hearing or viewing an AI-created work, if at all?
Thank you for the question. So, disclosure of AI-generated...
Look at this twisted snake of a person.
Especially with their potential for societal harms through generating deep fakes or works that could be used to influence elections by mocking up instances like Trump being arrested in New York. I saw it being generated by Midjourney. Certainly disclosure.
Generating a fake speech by me.
I think that this is an important issue that touches on the output of generative AI systems, and that is where I think that regulation is deserved.
And I think the dude in the background is this guy's boyfriend.
Viewing an AI-created work, if at all.
I'm sorry, repeat the question, please.
How are individuals alerted to the fact that they are hearing or viewing an AI-created work, if at all?
There's a variety of technological devices that our field is innovating in order to mark AI-generated works, similar to a watermark on a stock photography site. This is not an established industry-wide practice, but it is something that our field has been discussing. At the moment, it's up to the user of the AI system who's generating it to disclose to people who they're transmitting that image to that it was generated.
Thank you. My time is well expired, and I thank the chairman for his indulgence.
Mr. Chairman, you gave me the similar
All right. So the whole point of that video, because we've talked about all the stuff that AI is replacing and all the things it could do and all of that, but they're talking about putting watermarks and doing restriction on AI. So I think what's going to end up happening is we're going to have separate classes. We're going to have books, movies, audio, images that are classified as AI generated. And then we'll have a separate class for things that are generated by people. They're talking about putting watermarks on content that is generated through AI and stuff like that. And I think that's going to be interesting how they're going to implement that. I think YouTube will probably be a big part of that because they have the YouTube Content ID, which can detect sound waves that has been copyrighted through BMI and stuff like that. Like, I'm a BMI artist. I'm registered through BMI. My music is registered through BMI. Depending on how it gets put on the platform, because I think Facebook also has this technology to where it can detect it's sound waves. It just goes by sound waves, because sound waves are just like thumbprints or fingerprints in general. It's all unique. There's no two songs that sound exactly the same sonically. So they'll most likely detect AI generated audio because it's using audio clips that already exist. It's not going to generate things from scratch. It's going to take pieces of other things and mix it all together. And probably at first it'll be undetectable, but then eventually they'll dial it in to where it'll be able to detect what samples go from where. And we'll probably see more copyright lawsuits in the future because of it. Because right now it's really hard to detect that. If you take a sample from a song and you change the pitch, or you reverse the sound, or you whatever you do, you cut it up and stuff, you can make it kind of undetectable. Majority of music you hear nowadays has been sampled from music that came out in the past, but it's been sampled in such a way it's unrecognizable, or they went and got the actual licensing to have the rights to it. So I think in the future we're going to end up seeing that, which means we're going to see more censorship on YouTube. Because right now, sometimes if my beats are really low, because we're trying to hear someone talk, but I gotta have beats on for whatever reason, if they're too low, my videos have been flagged for other people's music, because time is very similar. Rock songs go by similar times, rap songs go by similar times, country music's the same way, because timing is similar. That's what it helps the genre be what it is. Like, EDM music generally runs at 140 beats per minute. And so if all you can hear is the claps on beats 2 and 4, and it's running 140 beats per minute, just like all the other hundreds of thousands, if not millions of electronic music, if it's low enough and all you're hearing is that clap on the same time, YouTube will mistake it for other songs, and now you're getting copyright flags, in my case, for my own music. And I've had that happen a lot. And if you go to fight it, you're risking your whole channel. If you fight it and for some reason they don't think that you're being genuine, they just delete your whole channel off the platform. So it's not worth fighting in. Anytime I get copyright flags, I just have them cut that section out of the video, because I don't have any other options really. And so I think we're going to see more of that in the future with platforms trying to detect AI generated stuff. Just wait till AI is considered misinformation. All these people right now are creating all this stuff with AI, but eventually they'll probably turn it around and say that AI is misinformation. And so then everybody who has AI generated anything most likely will be banned from the platforms as part of the misinformation hunt. They created a government agency to track down misinformation so they can punish you for it. It's not out yet, but Elon keeps putting spotlight on it. We're paying the government to censor us. Let's see. Melissa, every note has been played and every word has been sung already. Pretty much, yeah. Like, chords are not copyrightable. Drums aren't really copyrightable because it's too limited. It's melody and up is all Too real. They're talking about policing our right to speak and sing freely of thoughts and feelings. It's true. It's true. What is JPK? Colleen, everyone should flood misinformation so it blows a fuse. Something. And like, in all reality, we should just stop using social media and go hang out in person. Like, that's really what people should do. Is take all the money away from these platforms because they're censoring us. Your rights do not transfer to the internet. As soon as you log on the internet, you no longer have rights. I don't know why we hang out. I mean, outside of communication and entertainment, I don't even think money should be involved in digital stuff, because then you get stuck with these censors. And we already kind of are at a point of no return, because we renew our driver's license using the internet. We register for school on the internet. We do all this. You get your medical stuff done over the internet. You can talk to a doctor through live, whatever, camera and stuff like that. We use the internet for too much important things, and I think that makes it to the point where there's no return. We should have turned back years ago, I think, and just did things analog, hung out in person, went and saw stuff in person. They have too much control over us now. You almost don't even need your rights in the real world, because we do so much stuff digitally where you don't have rights. So if you stay inside all day and you're on your computer, on your phone, you do everything through there, what does it matter you have rights in the real world? You don't exist in the real world, really. You just exist online where you don't have rights. You just do what you're told, and they'll shut you up if you decide to not shut up yourself from crossing those community guidelines. Hair Juicer, have you been to modern raves? I mean, I've never been to like what is considered a rave. I've gone to Electric Forest, which is a music festival that takes place in Rothbury here in Michigan. It's one of the biggest music it's the biggest music festival in Michigan, but I think it's one of the bigger ones in our country. And yes, what they can do is pretty crazy. Oh no, I think we're talking about different things here, Juicer. Gary, how did that get passed through? Snooks must have passed that through. I mean, I don't care. I just think that I just figured YouTube would flag that. Zero Gravity, I wrote a lot of Limp Bizkit songs. Most people have music, don't write their own music. As long as you got paid for it. That's the thing, is getting paid for it. Getting those royalties. I think the royalty stuff is going to start going away too, because say you want to play a song in your video, but you don't have the money to pay for the licensing. Well, now you can most likely give AI either a suggestion of the song or give them the song itself, and then just say, make me something similar. And so now when people hear that song that you generated, it'll make them think of the famous song without you having to actually pay for the licensing for the famous song to be in your movie or your video or, whatever. Hair Juicer, Electric Forest sounds awesome. It's on my birthday, but I can't never get tickets. Doing summer camp next week. Oh, that's awesome. I've heard good things about summer camp. Electric Forest is awesome. I've been there 3 or 4 times. I love it. It's so expensive though. $700 a ticket or something like that. I know vendors, and if you really want to go this year, get a hold of me and I can get you tickets for a good price. And they are Good Life tickets. So it's VIP tickets. You get you're part of a whole separate campground that has actual showers, actual bathrooms. It has its own stage. So when the forest closes at like 2 o'clock in the morning, or maybe it's midnight, all the artists go to the Good Life stage and they hang out for 2, 3, 4 hours. And it's cool because you can meet the artists, you can take shots with them. Everybody's always really cool over there. I love going to Electric Forest. I haven't been able to afford it. And then it was closed for like 3 or 4 years because of the plague. But I wish I could go back. I love being at the forest. It's so awesome. Let's see. Gary, just like waiting to see her citizenship exam score. I don't know what that is. I'm waiting for us to get our social credit scores. Any day now. Any day we'll be getting microchipped and AI will be telling us what to do. We're getting there. So we got one video left. It's a short one, but it's a good one. It's titled, "You Ran from the Wrong County. Officer Stops a Driver After 140 mile an hour Chase." I'm not sure what he pulled him over for, because I'm not sure that he was able to detect that he was speeding. I don't know what it was, but we'll see. It was definitely entertaining. Some accountability being served. I love it. Let's get her started.
Shut up. Shut up. How old are you? I'm 19. You silly goose. Ran from the wrong county, brother.
Ran from the wrong county, brother. He must have been young. He must have been young. He was like, how old are you? Young and dumb. He's going to have regrets after that. Solid Ragu, what game is this? The kind where you win stupid prizes. Yep. I don't know. I don't know if they were looking for him or if they could tell he was speeding and that's why the officer whipped around, but there was a couple times where I thought the cop was going to lose it. He's like swaying the car back and forth and it looked like he's breaking traction a little bit. I thought it was interesting how they cut the video. It shows him pit maneuver him and then place up to him, and the next time you see like the camera cuts and all of a sudden he's arresting him, they had to cut out the part where they were whooping him, holding him at gunpoint. I don't know that that's what actually happened, but I know that they get in those intense situations. A lot of times the driver will come out of the vehicle and you'll see 3 or 4 cops just like spear tackle him to the ground because they had enough of his stuff, putting everybody in danger and whatnot. Snooks, he's 19. Sheriff called him a silly goose. Yeah, I thought that was funny too. He's like, you silly goose? Like, he's lucky he didn't hurt anybody though. Really, driving 140 miles an hour and everybody else is just minding their own business. Could have went bad. Melissa pitted grandma's car. Yeah. Yep. Too real. He didn't even give him a chance to pull over. He just pitted him. Yeah, I think it was just too far. I think it was just it was too much. He had, after you break 100 miles an hour, they're not even supposed to chase them unless they're like on country roads. And so he was like, well, You should have pulled over when the lights were on. Now you're getting pit maneuvered. Yeah. Gary, lack of sway bars. It could be. They run those cars ragged. Anytime I've been in a cop car, and I've been in a cop car more than just being arrested, yeah, they run those cars ragged. They peel corners. They don't use turn signals. They don't stop for stop signs. They don't stop for red lights a lot of times. No blinkers. I mean, they drive however they want to, because you don't never see cops pulling over other cops. So they just drive however they want to. And they run those vehicles ragged. Big time. I know a lot of people that go and buy used police cars, like the police auctions and stuff like that. I would never. They run those cars so hard. I don't want somebody's sloppy seconds. Not when it comes to that. But yeah, I seen that and I was like, yeah, we should definitely cover that. That's a good one. Some accountability. Doesn't feel good. Guy broke the law, got held accountable, didn't die from it, didn't resist arrest. Boom. That's how it's supposed to be. Screaming Eagle, I hate bad cops, and so should good cops. It's true. It's true. That's why I don't want to become a cop, because if I ever did, my buddy keeps telling me to go down and apply for the sheriff's department so I can be a sheriff like he is. No. Because if I find out that other officers are doing bad things, I'm going to expose them. I'm not just going to put their business out there, but they're going to be on the live and everything. Like, look at this bad cop right here. He's over here doing bad stuff. No, they'd call me out to the middle of the country or something. I'd get out there thinking something bad's happening. All of a sudden, it's all the bad officers. They're all surrounding me. I'd end up in a hole somewhere. They would just do away with me. Sometimes I think that's why good cops don't tell on bad cops, is because there's so many bad cops. You'll just go missing. What's going to happen? Who's going to find you? No one's going to find you, because you got to call the police department to run an investigation to figure out where you went when you went missing in the middle of the night. Yeah, they know exactly where you are. You're in the hole out in the woods. They're the ones that put you there. Who's going to find you? No one. So, no, not going to do that. Not going to do that. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Sheriff Hooligan. Yeah, no. Those cops, they would just kill me and throw me in a hole. Yeah, BC, I know. I hear it's not going well. Klaus Daniels. Klaus Daniels is a criminal. I'm harboring a criminal. This four-legged criminal over here. One of these hooligan cats. They're like, you got a permit for that, sir? I do not. Let's see. Soft Ragu, what's that shovel for? Yeah. Gary, Chargers turned to junk after a pit maneuver. I don't know. I thought Chargers and stuff back when they were like muscle cars were like pretty cool. But the new Chargers, I only see drug dealers and crackheads driving them. I don't see anybody else driving Chargers. I feel like they're the new Pontiac Grand Am. And they're all busted up. Everyone I see is all busted up. They're usually white. It's usually a white vehicle, and it's all dirty, and the paneling's all messed up, and the headlights are blown out. Some shady looking individual driving. It's no good. It's no good. I feel like it's the new Pontiac Grand Am. I do. It may not be that way everywhere, but here in West Michigan, I never see anybody cool driving. It's either a cop or a crackhead. It's drug dealers, crackheads, and cops. Those are the only people I see driving Chargers. It may not be the only people who own a Charger. That's the only people I see driving them. It's unfortunate. Let's see. Yeah, Grey Wolf, I don't know. I would like to stand up and do the right thing and be a cop and stuff like that. I'd like to stand all the way up for what's right, but I think I'd just end up getting killed. I think that's just what would happen. Too real. Here in Columbus, Ohio, they're thinking about hiring 18-year-olds as cops. Where does that make sense? You imagine getting put in jail by someone who isn't old enough to drink? That's stupid. In California, they're encouraging people who are not U.S. citizens to be cops. You don't even have to legally live here to be a cop in California. I'm sure that's going to end real well. What's up, Maria? Maria, happy freedom. It's going good. How are you doing? Too real. When is Electric Forest? Let me see. I was trying not to look because I don't have the money for tickets. But since you ask, I better take a gander. Better take a gander. Let's see. June 22nd through the 25th. Odessa is going to be there. Odessa is awesome. They're awesome. They have a drum line, and it's so good. Those people are so talented. Zed's Dead's going to be there. A lot of people like that. Rez is going to be there. People like Rez. She's cool. Ganja White Knight is going to be there. They're cool. I mean, there's a ton of people. These are the only people I know. I wonder if Damian Marley is going to be there. Or maybe not Damian. I'm trying to think. Because I think I've seen Damian Marley before. I bet String Cheese Incident's going to be there. That's like bluegrass, country, and EDM all mixed together. And it's awesome. It's like really chill. And they're really cool people. Virtual Riot's going to be there. I might know some of the people that are smaller artists. I don't know. There's so many things. Let me see if I can show you the flyer. You won't be able to read everything, but you'll see the thing I'm trying to read here. This is a list of all the artists. All the text in white is artist names. Odessa will be there Thursday. I think that's the only time they're going to play. That's too bad. Saturday and Sunday is usually the good nights. I've seen DJ Snake. Who else have I seen? I've seen Bass Nectar like 4 times. They're cool. But yeah. So June 22nd through the 25th. Coming up. I thought it was in May, but I guess not. It gives me time to save some money up. And it's literally like $600-700 for a ticket. Yeah, it's very expensive. It's very expensive. Yeah, Melissa, String Cheese Incident, they're awesome. They're awesome. If you're not like a raging rave head, you know, where you're just like out there going ham and you're doing acid and getting all whacked out, you just want to chill. String Cheese Incident is very cool. They brought out Damian Marley. Who else did they bring out? They brought a couple people. I'm trying to remember. I was so messed up, but it was so good. It was so good. All right, thanks for being here, Snooks. I appreciate everything you do. One thing I don't like about Electric Forest is people bringing their kids. Because there's like people who wear nothing but body paint. So you see like women that are completely naked and just in body paint, which isn't terrible until you get to Saturday and they're wearing Friday or Thursday's body paint, but it's like kind of gone. And they got this 1,000-mile stare. And you start feeling like you're in a crack house. There's a bunch of people who are all drugged out and they're just like staggering like a zombie. And they're naked, but like not in a good way. They're just like filthy, like homeless, naked people looking. And it's like, I don't think you should bring your kids to a place like that. But there's people that do. And I don't know. It's rough stuff. Let's see. Hair Juicer, have you seen Lettuce? I have not. Hair Juicer, Rez is so Rez. What showmanship? Yeah, I've never seen her live, but I've seen recordings of her show, and she seems pretty awesome. I wish Excision would go. I've seen Excision in Grand Rapids, and they're awesome. Excision is awesome. But Odessa has one of the best shows I've ever seen. They have that live drum line that comes out and just blows you away to hear like live instrumentation, because there's so much digital stuff. You know, you don't know if they're just click and play on the play button or not. You don't know. And it's fine if you're drinking and you're like in the mode, but Odessa comes out and they do all that stuff like everybody else. They play, you know, a ton of digital music, but then like halfway through the show they bring out the Odessa drum line and then they collaborate with the electronic music playing and all the snare drums and stuff, and it's just so good. It's like so good to hear it. It's awesome. Well, hooligans, I don't have anything else on the schedule today. Let me check. What'd I do? Close the tab? Yep, police chase. That was the last one. So yeah, that's all I had for today. We're going to do the spiel deal here in a second. Then we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. We're going to wrap things up, and then we will be live gaming later today, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Let me find the poll. That's what she said. So you guys can vote if you haven't done so already for what game we're going to play later on. Last I seen, I think Fallout was winning the deal there. I got to talk to WMM, but I think he wants to play the game on the live again. I think it was a lot of fun last week. We played, I think it was Friday, we played the game live. Me and WMM, we were on a team on Warzone. We had mics on so we could talk to each other. He was like trying to talk to the chat and whatnot when he could. He's reading the chat on his phone while we're playing and stuff. It seemed like a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I think everybody else had a lot of fun too. So we might just do that on Fridays. Not hold a poll. We'll just do Warzone on Fridays. But right now, I'm going to drop this link in the chat so you guys can vote on what game we're going to play later. Let's see. Mr. Beansy Beans, they put body paint on their boobs, their whole body. They're like hoo-ha out and everything. They're just totally naked with body paint on in Electric Forest. I don't know. I couldn't be running around like that. I'd be sweating it off. There's no way. Men don't have those kind of privileges, though. You'd be arrested. You don't see really naked men. It's just naked women. So right now we have 64 votes, 48%. Fallout, which is in the lead, 23%. Warzone, 16% for Forza, 13% for Fortnite. That's what it is right now. So it looks like we'll be playing Fallout later today. Continue the mission with Dog Meat. Jeremiah, Warzone, Xbox or PlayStation? I'm on PC. I play on PC. He plays on Xbox, and then my friend Carmelo, he plays on PlayStation. So we all get together and we got the trifecta going. But yeah, so we're going to do the spiel deal really quick here. Before you run away, go to Gilded. Go join Gilded. Or join the website, one or the other. That way you can stay informed on what's going on. Everybody always leaves when I do the spiel deal. When you get a second, please go to the Linktree link. It should be in the description. And then scroll down and find Gilded. Where's my mouse? There we go. Right here where it says Hooligan Community and Notifications. Go join Gilded. Gilded is free. You can get it on your phone as an app, or you can get it on your computer, whatever you prefer. It's currently the best way to receive notifications for when and where we go live. Every time we go live, there's a news board on Gilded to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. And there's a ton of hooligans in there to hang out with all day, every day, to chat it up about pretty much whatever you like. So definitely go join Gilded. Also on the link tree, you can find links to the merch stores right here. We have shirts, hoodies, stickers, and coffee mugs. Everything is displayed in black and white or white and black, but if you find something you like, just click on that item to see all the different colors that the item comes in. We have a ton of designs, and we have new designs coming out probably over the weekend. I'll try my best to at least put one out, but I would like to put them all out, so definitely go check out the merch store. You can also find donation links on here to PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Stripe, Zelle, Buy Me a Coffee, and Locals if you would like to help support what I do. There's also a link to the Amazon wish list if you would like to send me cool stuff. It's really easy to use. Anything you purchase directly from the wish list will be sent straight to me without having to send emails, find addresses, or even notify me. You don't have to notify me if you don't want to. Sometimes it's a surprise. Most of the time when I receive packages, it's a surprise. But you don't have to worry about doing tedious things or anything like that. Definitely go check out the wish list. I try to add things to it as much as I can. Donna Sparks, she's always sending me stuff, and I'm so thankful for Donna Sparks. The list has actually gotten shorter. I should probably add things on there. But definitely go check out the wish list. We also have membership programs right here. If you would like to join a membership for whatever platform you hang out in the most, we have memberships for YouTube, Gilded, Discord, Odyssey, Rumble, and Twitch. And then at the very top here, if you click that link, you'll get a free week membership over on jeffmaclive.com. No credit card required. With a membership on jeffmaclive.com, you'll have access to your own profile for the private social media area. You'll have access to the live streaming area with a built-in chat, and you'll also have access to our messaging system that gives you the ability to text, call, video call, group texting, group calling, group video calling, and the ability to upload all media except for VHS. I think it was Hydrodynamic or somebody was asking about VHS. Oh, it was Salty Ragu, I think. No, you can't do the VHS, but anything outside of VHS, you can upload MP3s, MP4s, slideshows, documents, whatever. So if you want to share some news that's going on, you want to show people how cool your garden's going or how cool your cat is, you can do all that. It is the freest place on the internet, so definitely go join jeffmaclive.com. All right, hooligans, for those of you that are still here with me, it's time for the Pledge of Allegiance. Whoa. Come on now. Boom, there we go. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Hold on a second. I just exited out of the whole live. There we go. I think we're good to go now. So I just lost the entire chat. I've never done that before. Been doing this for years. Never done that before. That was something. All right, hooligans, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah. There we go. Click the wrong button, clicked right out of the chat. I can't believe that. Never done that. How do I got 7 thumbs down? How do you thumbs down my live? What did I do? What did I do? How could I make you so mad you come over here and thumbs down? Did I mislead you somehow? People suck. I hate that. Let's see. I appreciate you, Raja. Read through chat really quick. We're going to wrap this up. Like I said, we will be live again at 10 p.m. Eastern Time to play the game and hang out and have fun. If you don't want to come hang out with us, that's totally fine. We will be live covering the news tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time for another Coffee with Hooligans. I appreciate all of you guys being here. I'm just going to skim through the chat, make sure there's no emergencies or anything like that. Go join Gilded. If you really want to be free, go over to jeffmaclive.com. Get yourself a membership. Looks like we're good to go. I appreciate all of you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Big shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership program, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you, and I would not be able to do this without you. So thank you so much for all your support. I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.
Yeah.